Yep, that's working. God, the two wheels on my chair are broken, so it's very hard to wheel in now. Probably turn. No, actually, the music's fine. Actually, that's not. It's a little too loud still. Wonder why. Not only was that not working, my webcam wasn't working, but plugging them in and out made them work. So I find it very odd. Cool. That should be Twitch sorted. Now it's this. You get YouTube sorted. YouTube is so much more awkward to do. I mean, it's a better chat I've got for it because it actually like loads things up and it looks nice and I can actually customize it. But cool. I didn't announce that I was streaming soon. That's fine. I don't know where the border has gone. I swear it's still on my desktop, but apparently it claims otherwise. Oh, did I move? That's why. I moved it to clear up some space, didn't I? So it wasn't on my desktop. Which one did I put it on then? Not you. It was just on the storage room. 7. Not you. That one. There it is. Nice. Okay. Been quite busy today, believe it or not. Well, I work till 5:30, so yeah. Been relatively busy for that reason. Announcements. I always put my Twitch every time, even though it's the exact same URL for Twitch. Okay, I have a couple things I want to do. And the number one is my best. Oh, my throat's horrible right now. I know Dr. Pepper probably isn't going to be the best thing, but it is diet, at least. New taste. There are. If I were to drink the entire thing, there is 10 calories in the entire bottle. Now, if that's not calorie efficient, I don't know what is. So we're getting there on this. It's looking pretty good. I just want to get all the wooden parts done now. Look at this dude. How's it going? Mega cool man. What makes you pick Twitch over talking on YouTube? I would say I like the emojis more on Twitch, but people rarely use them since I've been streaming on Twitch, weirdly enough. There you go. I'd say that's my favorite part of Twitch, but I don't see many people use them. Or do I just not acknowledge them? Maybe they are used. I'm going to change the color of this because it's quite distracting. HyperX. We're going to... Breathing. Breathing's a little distracting. I liked Twilight. Twilight was... I think the colors just felt more neutral and it's a bit slower. That's the slowest speed, though. That's quite surprising. What's the other one? breathing on the slowest. Confetti. Okay, no, that's a little too much. Cycle. That's the slowest. Sun. Is it just flashing between two cars? That's the slowest speed. Was it like a fast? Like a solar flare. We'll just go solid. We'll go green. And we'll make it nice. Dim green. That way it looks very razor. I have to change accounts for YouTube. Oh, right. Why don't you subscribe to me in a different account? So how does this work? Like, if I hit that with anything else? Oh, it does. Okay, so you can push it with anything. Okay, let's actually get something done today. I have plans to how I'm going to get the rest of it working, so I'm pretty confident in finishing this now. I think the biggest... Okay, this is acting weird today. The biggest issue I have with making certain things is sometimes I need time. Steve thinking I haven't subbed with both accounts. Oh. Should I do that thing where, like, you can hear my heartbeat? I wonder if that'll actually... Wait, I gotta... No, nothing. Nothing. You can't hear my heartbeat. It's because there's nothing there to beat. That sounds horrible. That sounded more like I was saying, like, there's nothing there to beat, like, you can't beat my heart, instead of it actually beating. Heyo, hey, moderate, how's it going, my mad lad? My man in the chair. My two dude. Oh, you know what? I got stuff to do in here as well as ZBrush. ZBrush. It is ZBrush. There's a really weird thing when it comes to actually making a model, because, like, when you look at a model, you're looking at it from, like, here, right? This... You know, the coloring is still slightly off, isn't it? We're close. I think it's the rendering. I think as soon as we render it, it'll be a bit different. One thing I want to change... I don't think we have one on here, do we? Oh no, we must do, because it's giving, like... I added it up here, right? I've not explained what I'm looking for yet, but... Mask editor... Curvature... Curvature... Position... Oh, we don't! Might as well use this one. What I want to do... Oh, white mask that. Cool. Well, first of all, turn off the roughness. Second of all, I want to add a generator, do world position, get it to the point I want, turn it down that way. The bottom of it is much darker, and we make that a different blue. If we actually get the blue from the image, it's actually slightly purple tinted like that. And we overlay that just a little bit so we get a nice blue as you come towards the bottom. Gives you all of that effect over here too. Like that, I like that. Okay, yeah, so we got quite a few things to do. They're all very time-consuming things. It's something I obviously say to people on my streams recently, specifically, because I was always that person in university who wanted to do everything very quickly. I didn't want anything to take long. But unfortunately, you can't help it. It gets to a point where some things will just take time. Like manually doing wood grain, for example, is just going to take time. I'm going to hand draw some detailing in. It's going to take time. It's just one of those things. As much as in university I try to avoid that and I try to do everything the quick way, it doesn't always work out that way. And sometimes doing the long-winded way is always going to give you the best result. So it's not like a bad thing to take all this extra time. Steve making 10-minute pasture in 1 minute. Exactly. God, that'd be crunchy. I mean, I should make my noodles with, like, I should boil the water and then just pour it in and wait and see if it cooks the noodles. I've been reading good things about that online. And we want to go hard and then soft. Been playing Minecraft again recently. That's always fun. Very hard game not to just enjoy. Because it's just good. I've heard that The Last of Us TV show is pretty good. I'm probably not going to watch that for quite some time if I do get around to it. I jokingly said about putting boiling water into noodles and then just leaving it instead of keeping the heat on. I made sushi today for tomorrow, but I didn't make as much. Even though I used the same amount as I usually do, I only made 7 rolls. So when I say rolls, I mean the whole roll. Like when you make sushi, you roll up a long thing and you cut it into your sushis. And I usually make 8 per roll, and I made 7 total rolls. So 8 sushis, but 8 actual pieces of sushi per roll. 6 if I cut the ends off and eat them. So if I go to 6 per roll, 6, 7, 14, 21, that's 42 sushis between 3 of us. So that's about 15 each. Wait, 15, 30, 45. No, 14 each. 14 each. That's 14 each. That's not too bad. Like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like I ended up with as much as I usually do. I'm having a lot of problems with I don't know if it's the pen. My computer in general, to be fair. But I don't know if it's pen, but it feels like it just keeps disabling out of nowhere, and I don't know why. Been playing Minecraft too? Yeah, I loaded up my old world. Me and my mate were playing it. We were playing actually in a new world for a bit. And then I was like, man, I miss my old world. So I just launched my old world. I found the file for it. Because I tend to play it with a mate, so it's usually always server bound. Server bound? I feel like it's not quite the correct word I'm looking for. Modding Kerbal Space Program. Modding? As in you're adding mods, or like you're making your own mods, or you mean you're just like adding existing mods? I mean, both is cool. I assume you mean you're just adding mods, but just in case, you might be like, you might have just gone into modding community. I used to have a couple of friends really into the modding community, like making custom mods. Make it do this, and then let's get some tippy ones. Tippy toppy ones. Look, the mouse just like turns off. Is it coming? Is it running out of juice? Where is the wire for it? I don't know. Maybe it's running out of batteries. You're adding, okay. I've been playing Black Desert Online as well. I've been playing Remnant from the Ashes. I really want to get into Devil May Cry. I can't. The controls for the first game feel so clunky. And it must just be me. I don't know what it is. Oh, you know what? Let's isolate this. It just feels really weird. You know what? Maybe I was running slow because I was looking at the whole thing. But I can't seem to get the hang of it. Oh, I need to play Wind Waker. Oh my god. Alright, mega cool. Man, let's have a read. CCAN modding tool, but not up-to-date mods on their sometimes forum. Forum where anybody posts their mods, but you can't really search for it. Space Dog, another mod collection site, which is better, but sometimes doesn't have the mods on there. Oh. So you're kind of stuck in between and trying to get like these mods working without much support. Or using this site where it's like got good support, but you're not getting the mods you want. I don't know if we should just do like a... Usually come off that, or is it usually like this? Something like that, but I don't think we do. I think we just want lines. If we look at the original concept, it is just like lines coming down it. Yeah, pretty much. I feel like I should put more lines into it, like smaller, shorter ones. That's fine. I never get how it really works at the top. I always just try to avoid them colliding and sort of do something in between. Yeah, that looks good. Maybe some extra bits here. Bit thinner. I've got some extra thinner lines on it, so I don't mind adding some of those. This one I think needs a thick boy. Too thick. Fine, now we want some thin ones. I could need even less intensity. Nice log. I'm just back to installing everything manually. Oh, nice. I've been playing VR a bit again as well. I played some Alex. Been playing Beat Saber. That's the only it for VR, but I do want to find some more VR things. Well, that looks a bit more woody. Looks a bit more Woody Harrison. I don't think we're going to get many viewers today, so I'm gonna be conservative with my work and my pen. And my pen. Minecraft VR, not Minecraft VR, but I could play Minecraft VR. It's a separate game though, right? Which annoys me. I hate when games do that. Oh, here's the same game, but the VR version, I'm like, ugh, you want me to pay a whole new price? I mean, I assume it's technically a whole different game, right? So it does make sense, but it doesn't make it any less annoying. Like when No Man's Sky released VR, it was just like, here's VR. And I respect that. Oh, now there is a mod. Oh. How are you enjoying Alex? Well, I tried to speak to you about it the other day, but you didn't really reply to my message. It's good. I got to the same spot again. And what I play from now will be new to me. I cleared out the underground sewer area. Freaking, that part annoyed me again, though. I think I got lost last time. You turn back after getting the flashlight and open sort of the laser doors, and you got to kill some head crabs. And then to the right of you, as you're walking down, there's the new path you got to take. And I think the path's always there. It's just like shrouded in darkness. And I couldn't find it again. I was running around for ages. I was like, where is it? I was well annoying. I know that's maybe just a me problem, and everyone else is probably like, no, I found that instantly. I just did not. I was lost. And one thing I hate the most in video games is getting lost. And I know it's like oh, have you got to deal with it kind of thing. But the reason I don't like getting lost in video games is because it feels like it's just a waste of my time. And it did annoy me. I was just like, where am I going, bro? Other than that, it's been really good. So I can complain about that as much as I want, but it has been very good. I hate getting lost in games. It's it's something like Elden Ring. It was fine because in Elden Ring you're supposed to just go off on your own. You're never lost in Elden Ring. Put it that way. You're just finding something new. You're exploring. There's a big difference between exploring in a video game and getting lost. Getting lost just means you're just re-exploring the same place you've been in. You just can't find where to go. I hate that. It's honestly some of the worst feeling moments in games is being lost for me. I'm making it sound like it was way worse than it was. It wasn't that bad when I got lost. It was just annoying. That tree is always a landmark. Always. What, as in general in the game? Or are you talking specifically Alex? Because I don't remember a tree in Alex. And it was inside. I think that's a big reason why, as much as I enjoyed... what is going on here? Do I need to turn down the stepping? Getting like this, is it just a low polyness? When it's 10 million, you'd think I'd get more detailing than that. So that looks pretty good. I just got to do the rest now. Oh, Elden Ring, right. Sorry, yeah, of course. I was going to say the Eldritch tree. What are the trees called? I get really stuck when I met Jeff. You have that to look forward to. First time I've ever felt fear in a game ever. Jeff. Is it a spoiler if I type it in? I'm just curious if I've met Jeff. Okay, no, I don't know who that is. I only caught a glimpse. I didn't really see it. I saw he kind of looked like he had a thing around his neck. I didn't really see it, though. It was a very small image, don't worry. Oh, is it like an enemy? I'm not looking, it's not on my monitor right now. Is Jeff an enemy? I thought Jeff was going to be like an NPC. Is most of the game like horror then? Also, for anyone who's not played Elden Ring still, freaking go. Get on it. That was such a fantastic game. Elden Ring was a game that felt like a game. And that sounds like a very weird comment. But I hope you know what I mean when I say that. He's an enemy. Oh, okay. it felt like a proper video game experience. You play so many games these days, and sometimes it feels more like it's a more like it's an interactive movie, as some people call it. Now, I have a lot more leniency than some people seem to have. I think one of the weird ones someone said to me recently. Oh, what the? How am I masking it? One of the weirdest ones. Someone said to me recently was, I actually mentioned it on last stream, was The Last of Us. People who haven't played The Last of Us need to stop saying, oh, it just looks like an interactive movie. Go play the game and then come back to me and tell me if you still have that opinion. Because you've clearly not played the game. The Last of Us has as much cutscenes than any story-based game. Halo, Call of Duty, Battlefield. Like, what a weird thing to say about a game. And I'm not saying it for the fact that I enjoyed Last of Us, because I did. Don't get me wrong, I very much enjoyed Last of Us. You can tell me what to do. Oh. I am. Let me mute it, sorry. But yeah, I think a big problem, so if people talk about games and stuff, is like, it's fine having your own opinion and not enjoying something. Someone out there, lots of people out there will really, really not enjoy something like Elden Ring, even though, like, I personally think it's an amazing game. Is it the best game I've ever played? No. Is it up there? Heck yeah, it was a really fun experience. And like I said, for me, it really felt like playing a game. Like, it felt like something new, even though it wasn't. They really did a good job, in my opinion, of it. Now, there's a big difference between having your own opinion and enjoying a game, and just coming out of absolute lies about a game. Man, stop it. If you've not played a game before, and you've not really done much research into it, stop trying to judge it. Go play it, then tell me you think it's trash. Then I'll take your comment and be like, okay, you've played it, you've given the game a go, and you still think it's garbage. Fair enough. Heck, I can't get into The Witcher. I know that's a really loved game. Cannot get into it. Don't know what it is. I just can't enjoy that game. And it's such a shame, because I feel like I'd really enjoy the story and everything, but the mechanics and everything, I just can't. Someone as well, like, when I play games, I rarely keybind. And for some reason, I feel like maybe I see it like a personal challenge. Like, when I play a game, I like to learn the controls the way that they were intended. So if a developer's going, oh, we've made it so spacebar shoots your gun, I will learn how to play the game using spacebar. You know what I mean? Witcher is trash, unfortunately. Yeah, I think you said you didn't enjoy it. I can't even call, like, I can't call it trash. Well, I can, technically. I have probably put 9 hours into it. Like, from my own opinion, I can call it trash. It's clearly not trash, because, objectively speaking, too many people enjoy it. I want to enjoy it, but there's just something about it I can't enjoy. I will say, they always put it down to such an affordable price, and it's £5 at the moment. They're updating it with ray tracing as well at some point. Yeah, 96% positive rating, 644,000 positive ratings. How many hours have I got on it? I don't know, people do like some trash, true. But I like to think if something, like, objectively speaking, when so many people enjoy something, it's hard to obviously say it's bad, because something being good, obviously it can come down to personal opinion, but depending on how you want to talk about it, it can come down to its average sort of ratings amongst the community. It's like when someone's good at something. If no one in the world could even score a basketball hoop, no one could freaking just shoot hoops. The one person who could shoot hoop would be considered an absolute legend, absolute master at basketball, even if you only got a hoop in every 100 shots. But because it's comparatively, so it's hard for me to call something like The Witcher trash when so many people love it, because I look at it in that way. But you're always trying to find some, I think, plant from a riverbed. Find the insert plant on the riverbed. Okay, I'm here. Where the heck is it? See, I don't think I had that problem. I got definitely to the second part of the game. Well, second part of the game? I have to type inventory to open, yeah. I mean, I take it as a personal challenge. I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy learning new controls. And I think the funniest part is when you go to play another game and you keep the biggest one. I don't know about you guys, but I play a lot of games. I eventually got past it, but the fighting mechanics are weird. Right? Learning. Oh, lost train of thought now. Sorry, I read the fighting mechanics. Because, like, the spells are really weird as well. The game just felt, I guess, clunky. How many hours have I got in it? If I haven't got at least 9 hours. Oh, I haven't. I've only got 5 hours, so it's hard to judge it completely. But with that said, I literally completed Hellsinger in 2 hours. So 5 hours isn't that short of a time. Yeah, that short of a time. But, yeah, E and F. Freaking Gunfire Reborn has F as its interactive button. The last game I think I remember using F as the interactive button was probably from 10 years ago. And I like Gunfire Reborn, and I refuse to rebind it to E, even though every game uses E to interact. Like, maybe I'm misremembering, but I cannot remember many games recently that use the F key to interact with something. Unless it's like a separate interaction, I guess. Like, E is your normal interaction, and then a special interact is F. I want people to tell me now. Come on, guys. Tell me what games use F as your interact key. And then tell me if something else is on E to why they use F. Because Gunfire Reborn, I'm pretty sure nothing is on E. Right? But they just went, screw it. E. It's only, it's sugar-free, don't worry. Well, there's probably still bad things in it, but... I'm worried about its, like, resolution. I'm worried about how much we're actually going to be able to pick up when we bake. We'll see. Because it's at 10 million. I guess I could remesh it. But I want to keep the shape relatively, like, unchanged. Because it's baking a certain amount of pixels, so it should be fine. Loony. Ah, you clipped it. Let's see how I'm saying it. I don't know. I enjoy it. I enjoy learning new controls. And I think the funniest part is when you go to play another game.
There's a little greasy.
The biggest one. I don't know about you guys, but I play a lot of games. My microphone's pretty good. That's not really a flex. You know what? I've always said that. If your biggest flex on something is how much money you spent on it, I don't really see it as much of a flex. And I know, like, oh, but people do it with their cars, blah, 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 blah. But I feel like a flex just works better when it's, like, a talent-based flex. I feel like it's just not as much of a flex when it's just like, oh, so you spent, like, oh, look at my shoes. Cool, you spent £500 on shoes? Like, I don't know. I'm not as impressed when it's something to just do with money. Like, if you approached me and went, this is worth 50,000. I bought it for £200. I'd be like, damn, like, that's a flex. Clipception. What happened to the music? Oh, it's here. It's here. Just took a while. Clipception, me watching a clip while watching Steve watch a clip of himself. Jesus. Dude spend like $100 on this sick shirt, man. And it's like, babe, that is well, right? Yeah. So not only do I not see just straight up spending money on something as a huge flex, when they tried to flex it and it's just garbage quality despite the money that they spent on it, I'm just like, brother, this isn't a flex. You got mugged off. Oh. Some do history stories will be auto-deleted in order to preserve system memory. Oh. What's my... I had like 30 gigabytes on here. Well, I got 74 gigabytes. Interesting. I feel like what do I usually do? Like, 10 million's high, right? I'm surprised this is 10 million. Oh, I wonder. Mugged, bruv. I love that term. You got mugged off. I don't often use very stereotypical, oh, no, some parts here, like, I should have added that in. Is it the same on the other side? Yeah, that should have been there. But mostly, it's quite squared. So I'm surprised how little detail. Yeah, it must be RAM. Usually it complains. I guess it didn't say disk space or something, did it? It was just saying memory, so I guess it meant RAM, which still surprises me. I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, so I'm surprised. Oh, so that's 5, then that's 7. I guess. Still surprised. You what, bruv? You what, mate? You what, mate? You having a giggle? Wagwan, bruv. Wagwan. I have no idea what they say. Wagwan? Wagwan. Have you heard of a, oh, my mate says it. A chin wiggle? A chin... Oh, man, I can't remember. What does wagwan mean? Wagwan is a way to say what's going on. Oh! What's going on? Wagwan. What's going on? Wagwan. And then Ugon Bengdo, which I assume is just Hugon Bengdo. Wagwan. Who you gonna bang? No. Are you gone bang though? Oh, it's Are You Gone Bang though? It's from a song. Funky D. Wagwan. Bumperclap. Mate. What is that? I remember that way younger. Bumperclap. Bumperclap, smaller. What? That's not what it means. Oh, yeah. It's the English language. It's the UK. The best thing we're at is making up sounds. Have you heard of when Cockney slang gets hold of a saying? Like, Cockney slang examples. To be fair, they don't make up words. They just make up sayings. Like apple and pears. Do you know what apple and pears means? Oh, head up the apple and pears. It means the stairs. Why does it mean stairs? Army and Navy means gravy. Basin of gravy means baby. Bees and honey means money. Grab some bees and honey out the wallet. Boronet. So these aren't too bad, because the problem with Cockney slang is there's rhyming slang and then there's Cockney slang. I think that's how it works anyway. And there's some words that they use that aren't even rhyming. Boomclat is Jamaican. It's an actual language based on English. Wait, what? Really? Oh. Because some of the stuff I've heard people say, it's not rhyming. It's like a different word. Like they just use a word with no relevance. Oh, you know what? It's kind of like saying, see a man about a dog. So this is quite an old saying. If you say, I'm going to go see a man about a dog, usually, probably not that long ago, but in the last like 50 years, it would have meant you're going to go sign on. And what signing on means is going to the job seeker place, which is now called Universal Credit, and getting money for looking for work. Drop the kids off at the pool. Is that one? I've never heard one. I've never heard that one. Drop the kids off at the... Oh, wow. It's autofilling it as well. That's a what? I'm not happy that I looked it up. See a man about a dog is much more innocent than that. See a man about a dog is what I just said. It's when you go, when you go to council and you get money for such work. Now, that's not necessarily what it means, because you could have used it for anything. If you was popping to the toilet, you'd say, I'm going to go see a man about a dog. And I love sayings like that, to be fair. But I want to find some examples, and I think it's Cockney. And it's not Cockney rhyming slang. It's just random words they use to mean something completely different. English slang examples. This isn't going to give me what I want at all. Bloke, bonkers, daft, to leg it. Oh, does leg it mean, it means chip it? I don't say leg it. I don't say chip it either. I say run away. So to leg it means to run away because you're using your legs, right? And presumably that's where it gets the saying from. But I like to say chip it. Now I have no idea why chipping it's a saying. But when someone like freaking runs away and go, oh, he chipped it, I think, or you yell at your mates like chip it. I think that's such a funny way to say it. So you got bloke, lad, yeah. There you go, Alex. For those of you who don't know English slang, I'll explain what these mean without even looking up what the definition is. Bloke is just your mate, your friend. Well, actually, not necessarily. No. A bloke is just somebody. Like, oh, there was a bloke at the bar. It's just another way of saying a person. Usually, a bloke, like it's just. Some people will use the word bloke to mean different types of people. Like if it's like I'd say a bloke is someone more like maybe. See, maybe I'm kind of blokey because you wouldn't call me a lad, right? The absolute mad lad. Lad is usually younger people, like lads' night out and stuff like that. Whereas a bloke is usually not necessarily more sophisticated, but more of a, hey, new to the stream. What are we working on here? Oh, I'll show you. So I'm talking about English slang. We're making a cannon, but I'm basically doing all the wooden parts to it, similar to how I did this. I'm doing all the wooden parts in ZBrush, and I'm gonna bake them in so we can get all that detail. So if we look back at ZBrush, you'll see I've already done these parts, which is here. And then basically I'm gonna go through all the wooden parts, gonna take that out as a separate mesh and bake it all into yeah. All right, let's look at some other words. So lad, yeah, lad's the second one. In the same vein as bloke, lad is used, however, for boys and younger men. Yes, exactly. Bonkers. Bonkers. Ooh. Bonkers means when something... It can either mean to describe someone he was absolutely bonkers, and it might just mean he was a bit crazy. Not in a negative way, usually. If you say he was a bit bonkers, it might mean he's just a bit... Is it off the rocket one? Off the rocket. I feel like that's saying... Yeah, crazy? Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, saying crazy, because you can say like, "Oh, mate, last night was bonkers," because you can describe the night as it being odd. But crazy is similar. Like, "Oh, last night was crazy." Daft just means you're being silly. Oh, don't be daft. Like, what? I thought gravity pulled you away from the earth. Oh, don't be daft. You know. To leg it means to chip it, which means to run away. This term means to run away, usually from some trouble. I legged it from the police. Yeah. Trolleyed. Oh, I've never heard of trolley, but it says /plastered. Plastered means just to get drunk. Barmy. Wait, what does barmy mean? Which one? I've heard barmy. Is barmy... Oh. Wait, barmy means mad crazy? Barmy's the same as to be bonkers? Oh. I've never used barmy. I've heard of it. So plastered and trolleyed means to get drunk. Or it can mean that he is drunk. He is plastered. Quid is just a pound. It's just money. We use a lot of words for money. Quid, wonga. You don't hear wonga very often, though. I can't think of any other ones. Dodgy. Ah, is dodgy an English term? Dodgy means when something's oh, I don't want to read the definition, at least not first. If someone was being dodgy, it means like maybe they were trying to scam you. Like it means the situation or the person that you're describing is a bit odd and not in a good way. Sketchy. Yeah, that's a good one. So what does the definition say? Something a little suspicious or questionable. Yeah. Oh, you can say about food. That's a good one. Oh, that food was a bit dodgy. Around the bend. That's a good one. What does around the bend mean? That means drunk, right? Barmy. Bats. Batty. Batty. No, that sounds familiar saying it out loud. What's batty mean? I can't remember. Bonkers, yeah. Buggy. Cracked. Cracked can't be an English term, surely. Crackers. I don't know what that one means. Daft, dotty. Never heard of dotty. Fruity. Not sure. Haywire, kooky, loco, loony, loopy, nuts, nutty, around the bend, wacky, insane. Oh wait, do all of that mean to be mad? Loco is Spanish. Oh yeah, he's a bit loco. Gobsmacked. Oh, gobsmacked's a good one. Absolute swing of surprise. All of it's crazy, right? Also cracked. Problem is cracked. When something's cracked, it like, oh, he's cracked. It means he's really good at something. Like if someone's just soloed, I'm gonna compare it to video games. If someone's just like killed or aced the game in Counter-Strike, it'd say he's cracked. Got me some tea. Nice, very on topic. Gobsmacked, you have to be surprised. You're absolutely gobsmacked. Bevy. Oh right. A bevy, your beverage. It means you drink. Oh, give me my bevy. I have never used bevy, but yeah, after seeing the word beverage, I was like, oh, right, yeah. Knackered means tired. Lost the plot means you're has become either angry, irrational, or is acting ridiculous. Oh, I wouldn't say I'm someone who's angry, lost the plot. I'd say lost the plot is just someone who's a bit, I don't know, a bit bonkers, I guess. He's lost the plot. Also, what's the canon for? A project? An asset to sell? No, it's just for fun. I could sell it. Well, no, I couldn't. Because it was originally this guy who made the concept. So I probably can't sell it because there's probably some sort of infringement. But it's just for fun. I work full-time doing 3D, so I like to... Even when I didn't work full-time, I just like to stream. The biggest reason I do these streams is, one, to talk to you guys because it's fun, and to teach you guys stuff. So if you need to know something, Tomato... I'm not the best artist in the world. In fact, I'm probably very mid-tier, I'd like to think. I like to think I'm at least that high. But if you need to know something and you look at some of my work, if you scroll down, you should be able to find my art station. You're on Twitch, right? If you find something that looks interesting, you want to know how I did it, or you want to go, oh, Steve, how would you make this shape? And you can send an image on Discord. You know, I'll try to help in any way I can. So the stream's mostly to help you guys. But I like talking about crap and working on personal projects because there's not always someone here to talk to ask for help. So if I have something on the go constantly, it makes a good dynamic. Taking the P. Yep, that means when you're... Teach me how to art. I'm a programmer that knows nothing. Being bad at art and trying to develop an indie game sucks. Ah, I can imagine. But you can get away with like very simple art if you've got a really good programming basis behind it. I mean, depending on what style you're going for, it could change drastically. Now, I know I haven't done this actually in a couple of streams, but I'm going to get out my art station. I have squares and spheres. Right, okay. Games don't need good art. That's very true. So depending on, like, it really depends what art style you want. So I've probably got technically 4 different art styles here. We've got maybe 5. We've got an archivist style, which is basically no dirt or grime. It's just tiling textures. We've got realistic. Steve is optional, exactly. I am an optional asset in the company. Now, I'd say all 4 of these scenes were attempting to be realistic. None of them are obviously photorealistic, but I like to think I put a good effort in. So yeah, a big question first is like, I think you've probably got these are cool 3 different styles. This is kind of its own style. I've got more of this made in a separate project. It's kind of a mix between realistic and stylized, because things are just over-exaggerated in shape and color. This scene, which is the last one I made, which is very stylized. This is my best stylized scene so far. Now, some may disagree. Some may think this is my best stylized scene. But this one is a different type of style. This one is basically... they've actually got volume, to be fair. Oh, he says. Oh, it does. It's just quiet for me. Let's turn up the audio. Yeah, you can hear it playing. That's a hand-painted style. Everything in this scene, I took the asset and I painted over the top. Where this is not done that way, and this is not done that way. Some of it I think I may have, but most of it's not. Yeah. So it depends on what you want, but when you sort of pick the area you want, then it's just like the basics, right? So if you go into like Blender, but the first thing you're gonna do, I spelled Blender wrong. Excellent. First thing you're gonna do is go load up Blender. And you're gonna say, okay, I want to make an asset. Now let's say I wanted to make a candle. Yeah, sure, a candle. Now, first thing you got to think of is what shape is a candle. Now, you could start with a square and say it's that shape. Now, you got to learn all the buttons, of course, if you're using Blender. Blender is very shortcut based. Use bevy as alcohol. Oh yeah, of course. You need to learn the shortcut. So like right there, I scaled it and I moved it. G moves because it's G for grab. S scales. S for scale. If you middle mouse click when you're like, if you hold middle mouse click after pressing those buttons, so S, hold middle mouse, you can then select the direction you want. And then you can change it in that direction. If you push tab, you go into edit mode, which is technically where you should be doing your edits, where you should be doing them here. And then you got R for rotate, right? I'm not going to go over every small thing because it's just going to take too long. But I will go through a couple of bits. So, when you're thinking about a candle, middle mouse scheme makes it go, woo! If you want to see the best I can do, check the work progress channel on your Discord. Let's go. I'm ready to be absolutely wowed. Oh. Wait. Oh, is this my mum? Well, no, this isn't my mum, but you're naming myself as my mum. My mum's downstairs. Mum! Mum, you watching my Twitch stream? You're making video games. Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, I'm the guy who loves your water. Oh, of course. Of course you do. Who doesn't? Yeah, I mean, it just comes down to basically learning the tools. And then after you've learned the tools, then it comes down to actually getting where you want with your shapes. Because as soon as it's like a puzzle. Every time you do it. I love water. Water's pretty good. I mean, keeps me alive. Yeah, a lot of it comes down to what, like, when you learn anything, like, that's basically the candle I envisioned just then. Like, I was, well, weirdly enough, I don't envision something the way I want it to look. I envision something the way I know how I'm going to make it. It's a very different process. When you're envisioning something the way you want to make it, you're thinking about every step of the way and how it's going to be made. I let man do more, but I doubt Steve would make that. Ooh, man do. Yeah, and a big part for me for 3D modeling is you need to be able to envision the stages you're going to go through to make the asset. And that's really important. Now, some people may, I always say this, some people may have different ways that they look at stuff. That is how I achieve what I do, right? If we grab this, we can do something like this. We can, this wouldn't really work. I was going to say we could try to add like a little drop on top, but it's a bit awkward with what we've got going on. Because then you'd probably do something like this, and you'd grab this. You pull this up and then pull this down. You've got like kind of a droplet, but it doesn't really work with the shape we've got going on. So probably you'd do that in a high poly instead. But if you were to apply that now, you've got basically a simple candle. Now you could apply like a droplet here. I should probably have. I needed 2, then apply. And then divide it one more time. And then, yeah, if you wanted to drop it, you could pull that out. You probably don't want this one to actually come out and go like merge. But it's about... It's a really, really hard thing to just teach. Because it's about knowing how you're going to end the how you're going to get to your end point. So as much as I just want to say, yeah, all you got to do is this, it's not always that easy. There you go. We've got like it's not quite right, but we've got like kind of a waxy drop happening. It's because it's like thinner up here, right? And it gets thicker at the bottom. Something more like that. Pull you up. That's a nose. Oh yeah, it does look like a nose. Whoa! Hold on a minute. Perfect. We have a that looks awesome because that could totally be a character. He's like he's melting away over time, and you got like he's a time-based mission. You got to do his mission before the candle melts. Hi, Kelb, how's it going? One of my biggest issues in Blender is shading in UVs. I know nothing about it, so I'm. Oh, okay. So shading you don't need to care about because that happens. Well, at least making materials, I assume you mean, right? You're not doing that in Blender, usually. Oh, yeah, the wax could be a teardrop. That's a good idea. When you're UV mapping something, I tend to say there's 3 different ways to UV map something. In fact, in a way, there's only 2 ways, because one way's caps, one way's... So I'll use caps, I'll use cylinder, and I'll use... cube, right? Starting with the cube, the way you unwrap a cube, or the way you unwrap shapes like this, right, is you take the front surface and you want the front surface to take as much, you want the front surface to have 4 edges that it has seams on, and you want it to come around the back, and the back needs 3 of those edges seamed, and I'll show you what I mean. So the front, we want this to connect here seamlessly. Especially if, for example, you mainly see the front when you're playing a game, but you don't really see the back. You could do it from the top, for example. Let's do it from the top. I'd go something like this and mark those seams, right? Now you've got this part, and he's going to have a seamless transition on all these edges, right? Because there's no seam, but you'll have a sort of a sharp, you'll have a cut now in your seam here. Then at the bottom, so you can't have it going all the way around in any of the areas, right? Because if it went all the way around, it now wouldn't unwrap. It would be an infinite shape. So you need to cut every edge except from the front. So now you end up with all 3 of these cut and the front. So it's unwrapping from here all the way up, and it gets a nice almost circle from here, 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 here. And then the top, because we don't want seams across the top, is also coming from here to here. And that's basically how you'd unwrap something like a cube or cube-like shape, because you can have a much more complex shape but still kind of do this method if it's a much more rigid shape like a cube. Then we unwrap that, you go into your UV editing, and boom. So I will actually unwrap it, but ignore that's it. It already has an unwrap when you get a cube, so let's throw that away. If we unwrap, boom, we have a cube. So at the end of the day, you're unwrapping the same way that you used to as a kid. You know, when your teacher gave you a piece of paper. And, what, someone joined the chat then? Oh my god, what did someone post about Andrew Tate in my chat? Anyways, when a teacher, they were giving you a piece of paper, at least most people, I had this experience, like probably 3 different teachers, gave me a piece of paper, and it had basically this shape on it, right, on the left side. It had this, and they told you to cut it out with some scissors and to wrap it around into your shape, right? That's essentially what you're doing when you're UV mapping. You're doing the opposite of that. You're taking your shape and you're thinking, all right, I'm going to cut parts of it up so that way I can flatten it out onto a 2D piece of paper. I'm on sculpting. How did I do that? Now, when it comes to something cylindrical, oh, see, this is capped as well. You'd usually cap the top and bottom, and then you select one edge. That way, that one edge, you've sliced it. Have you ever seen when people do it with cucumbers and they make it so like it rolls out? Essentially what you do, you're slicing it and you're unwrapping it from that one area. So now when I unwrap that, you'll get this. Super simple. Spheres can be done in different ways. for example, this way. The problem with this way is you're going to get warping. Now, Substance Painter is pretty good with warping, but a sphere, what this is, and I'll show you. So what this is it's just selected these parts and these parts, and it's essentially marked seams. However, if I go to unwrap that, we won't get this unwrap. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, and I need one edge. There you go. You'll get something like this. Because if you look at, like, images of the Earth, some of them will look kind of like this. Like, if I unwrap again, but we turn it to conformal, that doesn't work. But yeah, like, because the way that sphere works is your UVs are much bigger. It's like less stretched here, or more stretched here, and then less here, right? The way I tend to do something like cylindrical, as long as it doesn't make a difference, is let's clear the seams, is I'll grab like here, and I'll grab here. Then I'll mark those seams. Then I'll grab here, then I'll grab here, and I'll mark those seams. So what I'm essentially turning it into a cylinder. I'm capping the top and bottom, and I'm wrapping it. Turn that to angle-based, and we should get a bit of a nicer one. And that's it. That's basically how I do cylinders, cubes, and spheres. And if you take the methods for basically the cylinder and the cube, you'll be able to pretty much unwrap anything. It just takes a bit of time to discover what you'd consider a cube and what you'd consider a cylinder. Because you can do both, right? If I've got a cube, let's say I've got a really long cube, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to unwrap this like a normal cube. So we have two choices. We have two choices. We can unwrap it like a normal cube, which is how it is unwrapped. But you wouldn't probably do it from the front here, because this is probably going to be the part you're going to be seeing the most. You want to not have seams here. So if we clear seam, what we'd probably do is say our front here is our main piece. I think you could say, okay, so that means we need to go the same way as before. Select 3 sides. So I'll probably do something like this, like that, and then we'd go 1, 2, 1, 2. So like I did earlier, it's got the edges at the top and bottoms, and then at the back, it's got 3 sides selected -1. We mark that as a seam. We get this, which is pretty good. That's exactly what you want. But you could look at this and say, I'm going to do it like I cap my spheres. And technically, it technically is the same way. Because if we mark seam here, and mark seam here, and then we select one edge, which we already have, that's like doing it with a cylinder, right? If I were to subdivide that now, and apply that, and clear seam, and mark here, the only difference is with a cylinder, it becomes harder to do it the cube way, because I wouldn't know where to select the parts at the top. So now if I unwrap that, we get a very similar looking unwrap. So it just comes down to sort of understanding the difference between, or to just know where you need seams. Like if we look at clothing, right? Because real life things have seams all the time. So if we look at clothing, where's my camera? Oh, I actually want to properly see myself. I'm probably explaining this terribly. Yeah, if we look at my clothing, right, I can't really see it, but you kind of can. There's a seam here and there's a seam here, because when they make the clothes, they have it separate. They don't make the whole thing. They get it, make the parts, and then sew it in as separate pieces. That's essentially what you're doing, right? You're sewing it in at the separate pieces. This arm piece has a seam here, stops here, and then it goes all the way around, meaning that shape is more... Oh my god. So just the arm of my shirt, just like this, we apply this, the way that it is seamed, again, we got around it, which is essentially this seam. So if we actually like got most, like the rest of the shirt, right? So pretend this is the rest of the shirt, right? So that's going to come over to the rest of the shirt. This is just your shoulder part. So you've got the seam, it comes around here, which means you'd put the seam around here. And then if we feel underneath, it also has a seam that goes from the tip of here down to that part, which means it's coming from here to here. So now when we unwrap this, ignore the unwrap it's going to do for this, but if we unwrap this, which is this part, no wait, which part is it? It's this part up here, right? Yeah, okay. So, which means it's this part here, which is a very good unwrap. So yeah, if you look at real life things, you'll notice where unwraps actually happen, even in anything. Like, sure, something like a cup is completely molded, so you don't have seams, but again, this is something like a cylinder, so you just get a seam around here, get a seam around here, put a seam completely lined from here to the top here, unwrap the whole thing. You could make the handle a separate mesh. It doesn't need to be attached. If you want it attached, that's fine, but you'll probably have to seam around here, seam around this part of the handle, and then do a seam across that, so that way it unwraps the handle. Yeah. That's as much as I can explain it, because a lot of it comes down to just practice, right? And when you've done so much UV mapping, it's just sort of second nature. And I know that's not the best advice. I know nobody wants to hear that. What's your take on keeping one edge attached on cylinders? Oh, you know what? I did it quite often. I was thinking that when I was doing the unwrap. So, like, basically not... I can't believe this looks so low poly. I am on 7. This is 63,000 right here. There's, like, no detail. I mean, it works when you're far away, which I guess is how it's going to sort of bake it. Wait, let me regress. I like to keep them attached so I know where the circles live. Yeah. If as long as your unwrapping or layout abilities or your layout tool is good enough and it doesn't cause that as a weird shape when it's trying to lay it out. Yeah, I like doing that too because it keeps it in one area, right? And it also means when you're selecting in Substance Painter a shell, it does the whole shell. You don't have to find the top and bottom. Well, technically, as long as you select it as a mesh shell, it works. But if you're doing texture shell, that is actually a benefit in the opposite direction. Is having things detached means you can select their edge shells differently. But I don't often find myself needing to do that, so... You don't actually see the bottom very much anyway, so it's... Pen. Why? I could replicate this and actually completely look at the original, but I think as long as we make it look like wood, I'm not going to care about the macro detailing. If you guys had to make a list of your 5 favorite foods ever, and I mean a single food, like a component, like cheese. Now, you could say a bit of stuff in cheese, but like, I'm talking like if pasta, I'd consider a single food. Yes, it's made up of flour and stuff, but like to that degree, what would you say your favorite food is? What would you say is in at least your top 5? Because I'd probably say pasta, some sort of meat, maybe salmon. Or maybe pork. And then there's probably, noodles. God, I love noodles. Noodles might beat out pasta, actually, so that may just take the top 5 and pasta might just be below top 5. Cheese. I don't know if I just said cheese. It's hard. I love a lot of food. I use a lot of GT assets in my project. Sometimes the UVs crap out during extraction and import to Blender. Does your unwrapping lecturette work for car and helicopter bodies? So, yeah. You can unwrap everything if you're just thinking of a simple way to unwrap everything. Like, it's just... You just got to think about where a scene makes sense. And again, it's not the best advice... Oh, hello. Not the best advice if you're new to UV mapping, but it's any advice I can really give. Because it's just one of those things that if it makes sense, it makes sense. If you can't grasp that, it can be, I guess, difficult. I think I've only had UV mapping trouble like once. Like, don't get me wrong, some assets give me a little bit of trouble, but when I say proper, I mean proper trouble. It's because the software was being weird. Because the software does a lot of the work for you. So you don't need to worry about it a lot of time. Give me a hot... A Vindaloo chicken... I said single components. But that does sound very good. Oh, homemade burger's pretty good. I consider, like, if you're just talking about burger, it's not a single... that counts as a single food, sorry. It's constantly changing. I've been into steak recently. I used to, for those of you who followed me for a while, you may have heard that I usually say I'm not into steak. I grew up with a parent who, anytime they'd give me a steak, it would just be completely well done with no seasoning at all. And I thought it was just gross. Well, I didn't think it was gross. I just thought it tasted of nothing. I just thought it had barely any flavor. It was just a slab of dry meat that was super chewy. So I didn't have very good upbringing when it came to steak. But now that I make my own steak and I can do what I want with it, I've been really enjoying steak. Single foods, pork, venison, other meats, and hot. I think so. You think it covers meats quite a lot? See, salmon, simple smoked salmon. Because obviously, I'm not saying you can't cook it. If freaking, I'd say like breaded fried chicken. I'd consider a single food, right? Because I'm not talking just raw components. I'm talking like a throw one thing on your plate kind of deal. So for example, I wouldn't say a curry. Maybe actually maybe no, yeah, because curry's curry and rice. So no, I feel like I wouldn't say that. See, I don't think rice is much of a taste. I really, really like rice, but I wouldn't say it's like one of my favorites. Because if you gave me just a bowl of rice, I probably wouldn't be that interested. Even if you gave me seasoned rice, I made some seasoned rice for my sushi. And seasoned rice tastes pretty darn good because you put in rice vinegar, you put in sugar, and you put in some salt. And those three ingredients make rice taste really, really nice. But I still don't think it would be, even with that. I grew up on rice with sugar on it. Oh, really? That's interesting. So I don't think it would come up as my personal one, should I say. My personal tops. Even if it was seasoned. Because, like, when I have, like... I think the easiest way to put it is, like, when I have a curry, I'm not sitting there going, I can't see my hands. The rice is the best part. Or when I have a chili con carne, I'm not going, the rice. You know what I mean? The rice is the least interesting part for me in those meals. I've never had that type of rice. Again, though, if you guys are like, no, the taste of rice is, like, the most... I enjoy it so much. I mean, at the end of the day, we taste things different. We enjoy things differently. You have, it's the yellow one. Oh, no. Not the yellow rice. Not the one in the microwave packet. Is that enough, though, to put it in your top? Your top? I mean, again, maybe your answer is yes. I do actually want to see what this kind of looks like. I feel like this is an important wooden piece. So on this one, we have a bit of chunk here. Need to be way stronger. A bit of chunk. Oh, okay, too strong. I think we also just need this a bit bigger. Nope. This has not got many subdivisions on it at all. I mean, it should be fine. We've got like a chunk missing here. Pretty accurate, yeah. And then we've got another smaller chunk here. There's a bit of a chunk missing here, giving it sort of that effect, which is, yeah, good. And then the rest is just like got colors. I don't even need to. I mean, I'll add a couple of bits if I really want. There you go. We'll equal this part a bit more. We'll balance it out a bit more. Yeah, yellow microwave rice. I weirdly enough, I'm not into some of those flavors in general. Because I made like a stir fry with my mate. It was like a coconutty. The coconut part was fine. I'm pretty sure it's coconutty, but it had another flavor to it, and I didn't really enjoy it. I was like, and he was like, "Oh, mate, oh," and his brother was like, "This is so good. This tastes so good. It's like really Indian tasting," and I was like, "Yeah, it is good." I was a bit less impressed. I see. The problem here is I should have made this chunk here. Probably made it actually. Oh, you know what? I was doing that part only a 5 subdivision. Oh, that looks a million times better. Hold on. That's so much better. One of my biggest issues. Oh, sorry, I already read that. Come on, Wee Tomato Bell. What would you put? If I asked you right now, you could eat any. Now I say top 5 because I find it really hard to pick one ingredient. It's something in your top 5 favorite food of all time, and I mean like a singular food. Like if you're saying, "Oh, a roast," that's obviously not a singular food. That's like 8 different foods on your plate. I'm talking like a single thing, like cheese, or fried chicken, or steak, like a seasoned steak to medium rare, or however you like it. Like top 5. It was something in your top 5. I think food's such an food is such an interesting topic. Actually, which way am I looking at this? Is it this way? Yeah, it's got to be this way. Yeah, it's got to be this way. So that means the chunk we're looking for that's going to be missing is around here. I will say, I sound really snobby about food, going, "Oh, packet rice, stuff like this." I'm pretty easygoing when it comes to a lot of food. I'm sort of exaggerating a little bit. I am pretty easygoing when it comes to food. I like nice foods. I like making sushi. I like making ramen. I know that both Japanese dishes, but I like making a lot of other dishes too. I like making a nice mac and cheese. I like making a tagliatelle, a spaghetti carbonara. I've never made my own pasta, which I really want to. I can't think of any other meals off the top of my head. Chicken noodle soup and stuff. But if you give me something simple as well, "Hey, Steve, is a sandwich." I'll be like, "Heck yeah. Sandwich with ham and mayo. Like, I'm not exactly a great example of someone who's like really into fancy foods and stuff. I don't know how to cut this out. This is literally just like a chunk. Like, literally a chunk. I don't really know how else to do it. Can I just do that? Go trim adaptive and start. Do something like this. It's not quite like that. I mean, what's one of the biggest foods? I'll ask this to Moderate and Kelbo and Mega Cool Man. If you guys seem to be meshing enough that I feel like you're going to be here to answer it. What's a food you've tried in the last, like, let's say 5 years that you really didn't think you was going to like? You had to convince yourself to eat it, and then when you ate it, you were like, like, it was really good. Like, I guess you're really glad you convinced yourself to eat it. I don't think it helps do this shape here. It's not really what I want. What about if we just grab... just do that. just smooth that out to be a bit. Medium rare steak. Still would rather well done though. Wait, your favorite's well done? I just can't handle well done. It just tastes. It just feels like it has so much less flavor to it. My mum's favorite used to be well done, and then she recently has seen the error of her ways. No, she's recently swapped over. She's gone, actually, you know, I prefer this now. And she's doing God, I'm getting distracted by work. My wife did a potato cauliflower. Ooh, that, you know what? Potato and cauliflower, my brain's instantly gone to cheese. With a hollandaise sauce a few nights ago. I don't like hollandaise sauce, but tried it anyways. It was freaking fantastic. Nice. I feel like potatoes are really good, core food. Like, you can mix a lot with potato, and the taste of potato is very inoffensive, so it works well with a lot of stuff. Flavor of medium was good, but the experience was making me boke. Like, it was good, but my mind couldn't deal with it. Really? You just not? Is it the idea of thinking, oh, it's raw? Like, is that what gets you? Oh, it is a cheesy sauce, right? Oh, thank you for writing it more to my speed. Hollandaise. Hollandaise? Yeah, I get that. I get the idea of that. It's never bothered me. I've always been a person... Full stop. I've always been a person. I've always been a person who, if I know it's enjoyed in a certain way, it will not bother me. Or if I know something is technically correct, it will not bother me. And I know people enjoy eating it. Why are all my tools? I didn't even know you could invert the smooth. Why are my tools inverted? I guess I'm trying to think of how I get this shape. This doesn't look right at all. This is why I should have made the shape myself. That's more like it. Then it gets like sharper here. So if I get like a pinch. It's like being in an elevator. Now I know that's a very weird comparison, but bear with me. I know some people who are scared of elevators and say to me like, "Oh, how do you trust them so much?" I'm like, because that's supposed to, you know, they're functional. So how many elevators crash and people die in them compared to how many elevators exist and go down and up in the day? You know, I just think about it objectively. I think about it like, how many people suffer from this? Suffer from an elevator breaking, crashing down. Like, there's no way this elevator is going to do that. Technically, there is a way, but I also say, think how many safety precautions they have to take when making this. You know, an elevator that won't just drop like you see in the movies. There's so many things in place that stop that from happening. Ask yourself, do you feel lucky? I do not feel lucky, but is this coming out? Why are all my tools inverted all of a sudden? But no, yeah, it's basically if something to me is like, if hundreds, let's say, of people enjoy this thing or this thing works for them, I just assume it's fine for me, you know, and that's enough to make my brain go, that's fine, and I just deal with it. This is a very subtle wood. Like, it's got some wood, like, texturing on it, but it's very subtle. You know, this technically has a huge gash out of it, but I didn't make that, so we're not going to do it. Yeah, but drugs are illegal to take. And to be fair, statistically speaking, well, it depends on the drug. But statistically, speaking, lots of people are not fine from taking drugs. I'm allowed to say drugs on stream. Didn't really think that through when I said it. I mean, if you're talking like a certain drug, I won't say names of drugs, I don't know if I'm allowed to. Then yeah, lots of people are fine from that one. And I don't mind if that one even became legal. That really wouldn't bother me. Sorry, I didn't mean to get you demonetized. Can't believe we've done this. I was terrified of heights until I relocated from Australia to Germany. Australia, awesome. And Germany, awesome. Looking out the window at 10,000 meters got my over that fear. I was always scared the plane would crash. Ah, that's interesting. See, I fell off a 3-story building when I was like 3 or 4 years old. I don't know if you can see it. I didn't get many scars from it, but I got like a scar there. You can kind of see it. I technically got a scar somewhere on my chin. You can't even really see it when I shave. It's very minor. And I got a scar right on my hand. I can't really see that either. It's like a really small circle. But am I scared of heights? No. I feel like I've got a very minor fear of falling, but I think everybody does. You know, I feel like when you look down at someone, you're like, oh, like, because you don't want to fall. I don't think that was brought on by my pretty much traumatizing experience falling out of a 3-story building. I always say, I feel like the term, I almost died, is such a really silly term. Now, don't get me wrong, when people use it, I can't say correctly, you're allowed to use it however you want. When people use it to mean that they literally almost died, like something happened to them, like they got hit by a bus and their heart stopped. It doesn't have to be that dramatic, but you know what I mean, like they almost died. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense when they say it, but when someone's like, I almost died today, what happened? Oh, I walked out onto the road, and a car, if it was 5 seconds quicker, would have killed me. I'm like, you almost died. You're literally dead right now. I know, make it cool, man. Drink some more water. But I say with some transport statistically speaking, still the way who dies not good. Green monogram. Yeah. No, I find that so funny. It's like going on a plane. Coming off it, but like, I almost died. I was 1,000 miles in the air. It could have blown up at any time. It's such a funny thing, I think, to hear people say. I feel like there's something with being like phobias and stuff. Like, I am petrified of needles, but do you know what I do every time I go in? I'm getting better. Is I will stare directly at that needle. I will just look at it. I will... I think my fear came from watching too many disaster movies. Oh, no. Not the disaster movies. Yeah, I will stare at the needle when I get an injection. Because I want to get over it as a fear. And that's proven that it works. There's a specific name for that when you do that with fears. Now, is it the healthiest way to get over a fear? Probably not. I don't know. I've not looked up the statistics. Does it work, though? Yes, it's been proven time and time again. It's a very good way to get over a fear. It's to do it. But yeah, I think it's very interesting when it comes to fears. Because my fear of needles, Steve took a plane to space. My fear of needles, I would consider irrational. Right? Because an irrational fear is a fear of something where there's no real reasoning behind it. You're just scared of it because you're scared of it. And I feel like that's my fear of needles. And maybe that's why I'm trying to force myself so much to get over it, because I feel like it's ridiculous. I feel like being scared of something for an irrational reason doesn't make sense to me. Oh, I said 1,000 miles and I was just like, that sounds way too high. It's like only so many thousand. Maybe I was thinking feet. Or maybe I was thinking 1,000 feet. Oh, wait, what did I say? Miles? Oh, no, I was thinking meters. That's what I was thinking of. Between 10 and 20,000 meters. Right. I was thinking of meters. Yeah, miles is way too far. Because there's what, 3.3 feet to a meter. Yeah, I was definitely thinking of meters. I mean, I've never been on a plane. One day I'll go traveling. I have no reason not to now. In fact, this is probably the first year I don't have a reason, because before now we had COVID and that was preventing. Before that, I didn't have money. But now I don't have COVID stopping me, and now I have money to go. So I have no reason not to go abroad now. So I probably will go sometime this year, and I'll record it all for you guys. I'll stream every bit. I'll go to Japan. I'll go to all the maid cafes, and I'll stream all that. There's 100% on chance. I want to go to Tokyo. Oh, who doesn't? Honestly, everyone I seem to talk to is like, yeah, I want to go to Japan. You should treat yourself to a helicopter ride. That sounds awesome. Sounds. You won't want to come down. Ah, is it really that cool? You know what I want to do? I want to go bungee jumping. Wait, no, I want to go parachuting. I want to do the training though, and I want to do it without someone attached to the back of me. I don't necessarily think it's lame or anything, but I just really... No, I just feel like the experience is going to be completely elevated going up there on my own. Well, not on my own, obviously. Someone's got to fly me up there, but you know what I'm saying. Don't really matter what's in here. I'm just doing this to get some edge effect. That looks good. Cool, we can have one maybe here. I don't really need to isolate them out, to be fair. I could just go. I know for a fact that I'd look down from parachuting, like, before jumping out. Skydiving, that's the word I'm looking for. Did I say skydiving? And I'd look out and I'd just be like my heart would drop. I'd be so terrified. I'm not going to sit there and say, yeah, I want to do it, and I'm not going to be scared. I'd be terrified. And I think that's interesting to me. I don't get scared very often. That sounds very silly, but it's just not something I'm not a thrill seeker. But I would think it'd be interesting, the sensation it would make me feel doing something like that. Yeah, I've always wanted to go skydiving. I think my brother went. Well, one of my brothers. Not very heights, but weirdly in my sleep I am. But everyone says that they have that dream, right? When they're falling and they hit the ground and they wake up. I've never. What about you guys? I've never had that dream. I don't want that dream. Sounds horrible. My dreams, I used to lucid dream all the time, but I've not needed to. My dreams when I do dream are always fantastic. Like, it's probably the reason I like to sleep so much, because I have the best dreams. All my imagination that I can't bring out during the daytime, I bring out during my dreams. Not intentionally. I wish my imagination could run wild in the day, but it seems to run wild in my dreams, and it is awesome. Like, I have the most amazing dreams, and I think the weirdest part about my dreams is they're always so accurate. Like, well, not accurate, should I say? They take into consideration like physics and everything. I remember when I was Spider-Man once. You know how hard it is to swing around as Spider-Man, even with super strength. I was trying to do it one-handed. I had something in my other hand. I can't remember which way around it was, and I was going, and your whole body just goes towards the building. I remember having to stop. Like, how do I do this? Like, because I'd have to sort of do that and quickly shoot the other direction. Like, let go of that one. It was so weird. But yeah, like, it's weird how my dreams tend to think about physics and stuff. Or at least include it. Oh, did I just see Twitch broke? Hold on a minute. Steve walking all the way over test. What? What? Did my internet go funny? Is Twitch chat back now? Is everything back? Did I cut off for a bit, guys? I had a really lucid dream where I was parachuting. Oh, that's weird enough. With like an old round, but oh, what? With like the little hole in the middle. And I hit the side of the very tall bridge. I hit the side of a very tall bridge. It was crazy. To me, that's not a nightmare though. It was more like an experience. Yeah, it's back. Sweet. I have never dreamt of falling. I've dreamt once that I shot straight up into the air. Once it scared the bejeebers out of me. I have lucid dreamt a few times. That was cool. You know what though? For some reason, this was something that someone in my university thought you had to experience first. So there's something called sleep paralysis. Now, I remember looking online that if you induce sleep paralysis, you can lucid dream, but they are not connected. I think the only reason you can, because to lucid dream, you need to understand that you're dreaming. If you get into a lucid dream after sleep paralysis, you'll likely have remembered that you just made yourself go through sleep paralysis first, meaning you can likely lucid dream, but they are not connected. You can lucid dream without having to go through sleep paralysis. Now, for those of you who don't know what sleep paralysis is, it's when well, at least for me, from my neck down, my whole body is paralyzed and I start hallucinating, mostly sounds, but sometimes visual things. If I wrote it into the internet, you'll probably see a demon sitting on someone's chest, because it does, for a lot of people, it makes your chest heavy. I don't think it made my chest heavy. Sleep. Oops. Sleep. I think the sleep paralysis demon is literally a term. So you get sleep paralysis. If I type it in, hopefully there's no rude images. Oh, what the heck? It looks quite funny. Yeah, you know, stuff like this. You don't often see a full image, or at least hear full sounds. It's quite phasey. So like you can't move. Yeah, sleep paralysis is when you wake up, but your body has. Oh, you know what? It's not just when you wake up. I never once experienced it when I woke up. I always experience it when going to sleep, which is less common, from what I'm aware. When do you experience sleep paralysis? I bet it will say when you wake up. Because you can, like I said, you can induce lucid dreaming by going through it. So you obviously can do it before you sleep. Sleep paralysis happens when you cannot move your muscles as you're waking up or falling asleep. Oh, okay. Oh, this is by the NHS. This is because you're in sleep mode, but your brain is active. It's not clear why sleep paralysis can happen, but it has been linked with insomnia. Well, that makes sense. I've always had trouble sleeping. But I remember a doctor saying to me, because apparently it could be an issue if you have it loads, right? But I remember a doctor saying to me, I said to him, yeah, I have it loads. I've been having it like once every week. In fact, 1 week, I remember having it almost every single day. I think it was like 6 days that week. It was horrible. I was having it loads. And if you're suffering from insomnia, how are you supposed to sleep when you're also suffering from sleep paralysis from your insomnia? It just makes it so you can't sleep even more. But I said to him, yeah, most people experience sleep paralysis like once. And then he shrugged it off and didn't talk about it again. And I was just sitting there like, this was years ago when I talked about this. Like probably, was this university? It might have been before university. So probably like 10 years ago. I think I was there for another reason, but I mentioned it. I used to have a dream where I thought I was awake and had a really detailed image of my room ceiling, like just like real life. And then I would wake up and I was in a totally different part. Oh, that's interesting. I had a dream once where I got out of bed, looked out the window, and it was sunny. I got back into bed and went to sleep in my dream. I then woke up in real life and I looked outside and it was dark. And it was so trippy because I was like, wait, am I dreaming now? Or that was so funny. It was like the most useless dream. See, this is still annoying me here. Because like that needs to definitely be sharper. Do I need to come around here and like flatten this part out? Definitely better. I think dreams are awesome. I think one of the best parts about being alive is the fact that we can dream. I'm not exaggerating. I honestly, I think it's so cool that we can have these experiences in our minds. Like, who the heck needs VR? Who the heck needs real experiences when your dreams are better? That sounds really sad, but you know what I mean. Isn't there a phrase about when you get to the point where waking up is better than your dreams, you know you've made it? When you don't want to sleep because your dreams aren't as good as real life or something like that. So I don't know if I need to be adding more to these. So I feel like even if it's like small detailing, I should be, but I don't know. Like the original concept just has so little detailing on it. Oh, I thought that said washing up. I thought you said you dream more right after washing up, and I was like, well, clean your dishes then. I don't know why I'm doing detailing in there. You won't see it. Big tip for anyone wanting to be an artist. Don't spend your time detailing areas you're not going to see. If you play a video game and you fly outside the map, you'll notice a lot of incomplete walls that you can't get behind. If there's a closed door and you can only see parts of the room inside it, the rest of it's probably not even existing. It probably doesn't even exist in the game. Like, it's very important to know that, because you'll save a lot of time and be able to make more stuff. What's free at the moment? Epistory. There's a game called Epistory free on Epic Store right now. Did I miss last week? Hold on a minute. This only just came on. I don't think I did. Oh god, what is this? It looks awesome. Let's get it. Right, I should clean the dishes more. Would you guys say you're a good housemate? Like, do you clean dishes a lot? Also, only dreaming 50% of the time is pretty damn good. Lots of people I meet tell me they don't dream at all, and I'm like, damn, man. No wonder why you're so negative. I actually said a term at work today to someone. I said that a lot of people at my work seem to be big dreamers. What did I say? They're big dreamers, but they're not. Oh no, I said it yesterday. I got to see what I said. Wait, I don't know if my Twitch chat is still being weird. Hold on a minute. Oh wait, no, you're good, you're good, you're good. Cool. Oh wait, is it good? I don't want to know, but it looks good now. I definitely said something about this. It's not really a saying, I just sort of said it. Oh no, I did say it to this person. I can't remember fully what I said. I basically said a lot of people in my company, it's not necessarily a bad thing, is they're big on dreaming, but big on having big dreams. Hey, Sean, when talking about like game ideas, like they're big dreamers, but they're not practical with it. When you dream something, your dreams don't make sense. It doesn't need to work, right? In a dream, you could just start flying. It doesn't make sense, but it works. Now, the problem is when you're coming up for an idea of a video game, you need to think about all the pros and cons. You need to think how it's going to be implemented. You need to think how it's going to work. You can't just dream big and hope it works when you implement it. You got to think about how it's going to be implemented, how it's going to be work when it's implemented. Because that's another thing as well, is being able to implement something's one thing. If it being fun or it being practical is another thing. Right? Unfortunately, there are times where I have to shoot down. I want that. I have to shoot down like ideas at my company, or like I believe that we should clean up after ourselves and share the responsibility of everyday housework. This causes problems with lazy people. Yeah, I like to think I'm pretty good. You could ask probably one of my old housemates, but the problem I think needs to clean up with him is because he used to leave a whole rack of drying up to do. So I would leave my washing up to do for him to finish his drying up. Then he'd complain at me, because then he'll do his drying up. Then he'd come into my room and complain, but you've not done your washing up. Well, yeah, you've left your washing up overnight. Sometimes I'd come home too tired. Like, it'll be 10 o'clock at night. I need to be in work by 8 o'clock in the morning. I need to quickly make some food, and I sometimes would throw the dishes on the side and go straight to bed. And then maybe clean it up afterwards. But that's just because it was so exhausting. But in most cases, it's because he would fill up the draining rack. Like, how am I supposed to wash up my stuff if I can't put it anywhere now? I could dry it up instantly, but then what's the point of having a draining rack? I have a question. How do you decide what to include in a marketplace pack? Like how much you should make because it can go on forever? Screw that. Put his dishes in his bed. Yeah, just freaking get the draining rack and be like... And while he's sleeping too. Other than that, he's a pretty good housemate. That was one thing where I was just like, come on, bruh. Like, don't blame me when you've not given me a choice. A lot of times, he probably didn't even realize this. A lot of times, I would dry up all his stuff just so I could wash my stuff up. I think once he complained my stuff was in the draining rack after I just dried up all his stuff because I wanted to clear room. I was a really neat person until I went to uni and had messy roommates. I'm starting to get... Oh, jeez. Starting to get back. My biggest part, and I guess it's like you, is I tend to be... Now, if you ask my mates in university, was Steve's room clean? Now, this is probably the messiest my room's ever been, is living in, having actually more stuff to place. But in general, my room was always relatively clean. It was the rest of the house that wasn't, because a lot of people I lived with was very messy, at least in my third house. Second house, first house as well, the dormitories, it was messy because it's people I lived with. And then the last house was very messy. But again, it was the people I lived with. It's very hard to want to clean up your mess when to clean up your mess, you have to clean up their mess. Now you just start accumulating more and more mess, and it's really awkward. Is this asset for a strategy game? No, it is not. Just so you know the top right image isn't mine. I just want to clarify. I'm getting close at making it look like it though, so I feel like we're getting there. I really liked that guy's art. You know what? This part needs to be squeezed in more, but I don't think and this part needs to be bigger. But I don't think we're going to change much now. We're going to just settle with what we got. Well, I could change that. Because all I need to do is come into here, and I just feel like this part here is, even if it's just a little bit, we'll do it from here. Nope, we'll do it from here. Yes. Even if it's just a little bit, I think it's like slightly, very slightly like that, right? And I think this part in the middle is a little more slightly in like that. Yeah, and I think this part here is a little bit more pinched as well. Just a little. Yeah, that looks a bit better to me. We should be able to re-import that with no trouble whatsoever because it's just a low poly. Sorry, I can't read what you guys are saying for a tiny bit. Oh yeah, some of it's mirrored too to give me more space to texture. Uh-oh. You can't look at that, that's work. Canon, LP mirrored, okay. Oh wait, I can see what you're writing now. Over the eyes. What's it doing? Can I re-import? So it should stay the same. It's running very slow. Oh, cool. It should give it all the textures though, because all I done was slightly change the shape. Nice, cool. It's a little bit thicker now. I like that. Yeah, that looks good. It's a little bit more angled. It's a little bit more like this sort of angle. It's a little bit more... Weirdly enough, it looks like it's doing this. It looks like you've got this here. It's only very slightly. But what it looks like it's doing... is it's here and it's slightly doing that. It's very hard to do it without messing it up, though. But it's like it's very, very slightly tilted like that, and then a little bit up. But I don't want to do that. We're gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it without doing that. I go change that later. Anyways, I don't think I read everything. 1 second. 1 second, guys. You're too fast for me. It's not in the chat anymore. Draining rack. Draining rack is for draining rack is for draining though. Am I wrong? Like it's actually bad for hygiene to towel dry dishes. That's true. I like using a draining rack for drying. I just leave it there till it gets dry and then I put it away because it seems like the purpose. It's a draining rack. It's oh wow, big vein here. It's supposed to be drained. Like I feel like that's the main point. Easy way to get that taper is to use a soft select. There's many ways, but that usually works for me. Soft select isn't what I was just doing, right? Like you mean like soft select. Ooh. Right, it's like doing a area. Are you scaling an edge loop there to pitch to cut? Yeah. So I grabbed the edge loop like this, and then I just scaled it inwards. But you can use Control S, so that will scale it in its center point. Alt S, sorry, will do it along its normals. Okay, I've caught up. I think it is looking good though. As soon as we get all the wood here, we can start adding little touches. And then what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to get it into probably the Unreal Engine because I want stuff to move and I know how to do that in the Unreal Engine. And I'll make this image big for you guys. And what we're going to do is where you see the lava and stuff, I'm going to have those as little separate meshes that I'm going to put on a nice material, I think. And then I'm going to make it glow and stuff. As cannonballs is going to be separate meshes. And I'm going to do some particle effects coming off the back, like little flary bits. And then lastly, the smoke coming out the top of the barrel. I think I'm just going to have either a texture, and it looks like if I make a mesh and make a plane coming out of it, then make a smoke effect looking like it's coming out the top. That'll probably work pretty well. Or a particle effect. I'm not sure yet. I think both will work pretty well. So there's the little... Again, when you're making something, the way it works the best is if you've sort of planned out, even if it's just in your head, how you're going to approach those parts. If you start something without the idea of how you're going to do the process, not the end result, thinking about what an end result looks like is basically getting concept art. Thinking about how to make those steps is more important, at least from my point, of actually getting to that end result. I have Orb Brush, Sean. I'm not using it for this because if you look again at the cannon he's used, nothing here looks like it's kind of using those Orb Brushes. Most of the lines for the everything here are very straight. Some work, like if you go into there, because I'm not making scratches right now anyway. I'm making wood details, but the one that would work is probably /3. You get this nice long one here. Or might be a bit too strong, Jesus. We could probably do a couple of those in here, and they will work pretty fine. But that's the only one I think will work for this. The only problem with that is it's really hard to like get it to work in certain areas, like on edges. That looks pretty good though, as long as it doesn't destroy. Oh, well, that's also an annoyance that it brings it out in the back. I love the Orb Brush. A lot of my stylized stuff is basically made entirely off the Orb Brush. I mean, I'm using Orb Cracks. This is the, I'm literally using the Orb, basically damn standard. But yeah, thanks for the recommendation. Anyone who does want to make cool looking stylized stuff, I would recommend using the Orb Brush. is awesome, and he gives it away absolutely free. For those who have no idea what I mean, the brushes I'm using right now, like these things in here, are all brushes. You can add custom brushes. I have a pack called Orb, and he has loads of Orb brushes. The scratches ones are really cool because they can add very quick. Wow, that is strong. But it can add very quick like detailing onto it. They're very good on edges. Do stuff like that. Is that all of that done? See, my problem is I just feel like there's not going to be enough detail on here. Like, I can add extra wood detailing and even hand paint some parts. Cool, that part looks done. Let's get the image back up. I'd like to at least bake this before the end of today. But I think after we've done that, I'm just going to be happy. I'm just going to be happy. Full stop. Now, after that, as long as we get that done, and after today, that's what I was going to say, we can work on the rest of it. Wow, why does it keep inverting my brushes? I mean, it looks pretty cool, though. Can you stop inverting my brushes? Thank you. So I'm going to smooth all this around. Cool. We're going to get our flat. Now, I think the Trim Dynamic is probably my favorite brush if we're not including Orb. I think this brush is cool. Like the fact that I just come into here and I just start flattening these areas out and it just works. I will do a bit more of this, a bit less of this. There you go. And we just get these like edges. It's very cool to me. It's very cool, Timmy. Got to run. See ya. Nice stream. Have a good one. What do you do, Sean? Are you artist? I assume you are if you talk about old brushes and stuff. And if so, how much better are you than me? Because usually, weirdly enough, when people say that they are an artist, they're like eons like past what I can do. It was like, yeah, I don't do anything fancy. Then they show me, and I'm like, what the heck? See, I'm looking at this, and I'm seeing if this brush is going to work. Why is everything inverted? What button did I press? Is it erase mode? Pen mode? Oh, did I go into, like, the opposite mode? Is that what I did? Oh, maybe that's what I did. That one, I don't think works. Where the heck did I go? Works as well. So on this, we're looking at it from the area. I think it's from here, right? If we're looking at it for this, we've got like a big chunk that comes out of here, and it's the other way around. Looking for a bit. What? Pen mode. There you go. Big chunk that comes out of here. Another big chunk that comes out of here. And then the rest I can make up what I want. So we can have like little bits coming here. Let's make it much weaker. And well, not really a pro. Country had no opportunities for eyes. It's annoying. I mean, it took me long enough and I live in England. But I made some items for Dota 2. Unfortunately, not published on the start. I like to release a game or two before I die. Damn. I mean, I respect it. I respect it. I respect the hustle. Oh my god. my tablet didn't lock in quite fully, and it just like startled me. I want smaller ones here. Yeah, something like that. There you go. I want some of those like across here too. I've never had big ideas for like games. Like so one thing that they teach you as an artist in university, anyway, at least for me, was like they basically try to drill into us that you're never going to make something that you want to make when working for a company. You're going to be making something somebody else wants to make. You're going to be given somebody else's concept art. You're going to be like always basically doing something other than what you want to make. I wish that was true at my company. Now, some people would love this. It's just not my cup of tea. At my company, my boss trusts me so much, and we only have like a very small team, and he just gets me to do everything. Like, I wish all my job was to be given concept art and make that. That's the dream. That's what I want to do. I don't have that opportunity. I do get to make my own ideas a lot of the time. I'm like, I don't want to. I don't have loads of bright ideas. What they taught me in university was a lie at my current job. Man, modding this thing takes ages on there. But it's ironic because I know a lot of people who would love to basically have the job I'm in. My boss literally says, oh, just make it to how you think it would work. And I'm like, no. Tell me how you want it to work. Draw me an image. Come on. Don't do this to me. I hate it. You have no idea. I hate it. Damn, the harmonica. What the heck? Oh, you know what? There's only one, like... Actually, where am I right now? Oh, that's underneath. Yeah, that's like there. Right, so I'm here. So we're looking at... Well, that should have been smoother, but whatever. We're looking for a big... Oh, wow, that is not big. Let's get stronger. Yeah, running a business is crazy these times. I just want simple work, man. When I got NVIDIA to hire me for a project, that was awesome. And they just told me what they wanted. Make the Simpsons seed and make it look like it's got RTX. Perfect. It's exactly what I want to do. Just tell me what you want. Tell me. From the get-go. I cannot emphasize this enough. Lots of 3D artists likely feel the same way. It's not just me. But, yeah, my boss gives a lot of us... a lot of say at my company. Like, we all have a voice. We can all say what we want to input into the game and stuff, and that's great. But one big thing, actually, is giving everyone a voice. I don't necessarily think it's always a good thing, right? Because a lot of people neglect to think about, and I was actually talking about this earlier, but a lot of people neglect to think about how something actually works. When making a game, it's very easy to say, I want this idea. How are you going to implement it? Does that idea work? Have you seen other games do it? No. Why have you not seen other games do it? Is it because we're actually the first to think about it? Or is it because it didn't work and other games know this, so they didn't do it themselves? When you're thinking about ideas, it's very important to think about... Again, I said this earlier, so I'm just repeating myself. It's very important. I can fix broken meshes and modify existing models to my liking, but building something from scratch like you have here is something I doubt I'll be able to do. It's inspiring to watch. Ah, thank you, man. You'll do it someday. Trust me. Like, a lot of what I can do comes down to not having any talent at all. I am a terrible artist. It comes down to following the same procedures I do every single time, over and over again. Like when I do wood, when I do metals, when I make shapes, I look at the way it's formed and I just start making basic shapes from it. It's one of those things that you can teach yourself over time, and I'm a very big believer because it's very. Some people in the chat who've heard me talk about talent before has probably gone, "What? Steve's saying this is weird." I'm a very firm believer that talent exists, and at the end of the day, it's been proven. I don't know why I have to say that. Talent exists. You could be much naturally better at something than somebody else. I know a lot of people say, "Oh, but hard work." hard work beats talent. Yeah, if the person who has the talent is lazy and he doesn't push his hard work anywhere, he doesn't train his talent, sorry. But yeah, like talent to me is a catalyst, but there are some things that will come naturally to you if you have talent for it. If you don't have that talent, it can be very more difficult. I don't think I'll be able to draw very successfully ever. And that's not, and people could say the same thing I'm saying to you, like, oh, you just got to practice at it. But something like drawing has too many fundamental, naturally talent skills involved in it. Like being able to understand anatomy and draw, stuff like that. Being able to make something just from your mind. My brain isn't inventive enough. That's why I need concept art. Because I can't think up ideas and then put them down. My brain just doesn't work like that. And that's a huge thing you need for drawing. Ideas are one thing, but what matters is implementation. It's very easy to... Oh, yeah, talk about what I was talking about earlier. Think about ideas. Word, Sean. But difficult to implement and actually stick with your project once inspiration runs out. That's a big reason. A big thing I say to people about scope. Even artists. I don't know many artists, at least in my friend groups, who ever finished a project, even if it was a small one, like making a single asset. Maybe that's too harsh, but I'd say most of them, I think most of the friends hiding in university probably don't have more than 2 finished pieces on their art station. And it's because they can't push past that inspiration burnout, right? Or that motivation burnout more than inspiration. I feel like I challenge myself mentally to get it finished. It's like I'm proving myself wrong or right, I guess. I'm proving myself wrong that I can do it despite having burnout, because everyone gets burnout. But equally, I try to temper what I'm making to the scope I think is possible. Now, lots of people in my chat are going to disagree with that, but if you think about when I make something, I tend to, when I expand an idea, I tend to have the idea simple at the start, and then it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And that, I think, is the most important thing, is keep your ideas small, and if you want to add something, add it when the other ideas are implemented. I'm getting back to ArtStation. So this one was probably the biggest idea I've had from the get-go. Actually, did I even want to do the interior? I probably. This is the biggest idea I had from the get-go. If you watched the video of this, movies I never finished, they are abandoned. Yeah, I think that applies to... Yeah. Nothing is ever finished. And that's another thing. Too many people are perfectionists. I've always said this too. And this was something a YouTuber said. Someone called Danny from Graduate Report. This was years ago. And he said he is not a no, or did he say he was a perfectionist and he wants to be a completionist? And he described what he meant by that. And he said he is not going to try to perfect what he's making because it will never get done. He is going to instead complete what he's making. He's going to focus on getting it done, whether or not it's to a perfect state, rather than making it perfect. And I've never had that issue. I always say to people when I'm making scenes, I'm like, this asset might look garbage, but it's only going to be in the background, right? If we look here, we can look at, like, some of these stuff look nice, right? These aren't too detailed, stuff like that. If we look here, these are just duplicated. If we look here, that's just a tiling texture to save time. This is just a tiling texture. This here is just a tiling texture on a wall. These are all duplicated assets to help fill out the scene because it saves time. This is quite unique. Obviously, in my video, I'm going to show more unique stuff. This is super simple. This book is so simple, but it's not the main part. Yes, it obstructs your view, but you're trying to look over that to see what's going on over here, so you don't care. It gets blurred out. This is a very important asset. This is forefront because it's one of my best assets in the scene. Then we've got my character. Hello guys. I don't stay here for that long, but see you later. Oh, see ya. What, Jesus. Tiling texture. Duplicated crates that are hidden in darkness, so it doesn't matter. Super simple texturing on here. So I didn't care about these items too much. I didn't want to make them perfect because they weren't going to be a centerpiece. I want you to look at other areas. I'm probably showing as a programmer with me, it was always just one more feature and then it'll be finished. There was always another feature. Yeah, that's the thing. Whereas I luckily I didn't have that too much naturally. Yes, I just said I will always go, oh, I want to add this now, and I want to add this now, but I'm fine just dropping it. It's never really bothered me just dropping it, because to me, as long as the scene's finished, and when I say finished, if for example if you're making a house and you have planned to make every room, that's finished. Now, when you start saying, let's make a swing park in the garden, that's when you're adding too much. That's when you're going beyond the project. But if you've you're only on the 3rd room out of 7, and you're like, all right, time's getting the full room, I wouldn't say that's like adding another feature. That's just continuing your development. If we look at this scene, this is a prime example of where I kept adding and adding and adding, and I eventually finished it, and I sold it on the marketplace, so it got me money back of the time I spent. Just when I wasn't working. Oh, it's the opposite on here. So if we look at... Really? This is so dumb. Oh, there you go. If we look at this started off... to be fair, this literally started off as... this. It was just a weapon. I just made a bunch of weapons. This is the first time I'd ever tried to do stylized assets. And I had in my mind a way to do stylized... without having to hand draw it, and this is the result of that. Was I thought of a process to make it so I didn't have to hand paint things. Oh, bugger! And I said to myself, I dropped my pen, and I thought to myself, okay, let's make a little blacksmiths for it, right? And that's where this came from. Just this building. I think I was just doing the building and it was gonna have a little. It was gonna be like a diorama. Somehow I went, let's make a landscape for it. Let's make some foliage. Let's make a waterfall and a river. Okay, that's looking good. Let's have a bridge going over. Let's make a little dock area. Let's make the waterfall area actually approachable, and you've got some stuff there. Okay. And then I was like, you know what? Let's make a little town. Let's make the building a building pack. I finished it though. I just kept going, and I got it done. If I felt like I was burning out, I would have just stopped and said we're finished. Oh, let's make a night version of the scene with particle effects. I could definitely improve the scene now. I want to make a better sky map for it, to be fair. I think I could make it look better. But yeah, it's very funny how long did that take to finish? Ooh. I think it was like 6 months. The problem is I've always worked a job at the same time. Now, at this point, I was only working like a retail job. It wasn't very nice. But if we look... Oh, I don't have it on my Twitch. I want to say 6 to 9 months. But if we were talking actual working hours, probably 120, 150 hours. Yeah. It's like with this scene, this canon. You could say it's taking me... Steve, this is like a 12th stream. But sometimes my streams are only an hour long. And most of the time I talk during them. So it's really hard to say how long this took. 6 months is still pretty impressive. The scene looks awesome. To be fair, if you want to see something, how quickly I can make something, there's 2 examples actually. There's some time lapses on my art state on my YouTube channel, but 2 examples on here of what I could make quickly, and it's this and it's this. This was I made this whole environment from scratch. None of this is assets found. You could tell because it's not that good. It's decent. This was made in 10 days. I wrote 2 weeks here because it sounds better to round it up. Can I not select with my tablet pen? Apparently not. This was 10 days from start to finish. Not constant work, just like on and off in those 10 days, but from start to finish it took me 10 days. My friend made the kitchen, which is why I don't show it off too much in here. Now, if you want to look at something that I went even speedier on, this took me 3 days. Almost all made by me. This plant here was Mega Scan, and this little plant here, and this little grassy bit, leafy bit here was Mega Scans. But everything else, so apart from those 3 little things, everything else here was made by me. I guess I got the texture of old, weird-looking Abe and weird-looking Homer online, but that's just the texture. Yes, because NVIDIA hired me and they gave me no time to make it. They said, yeah, we know we've not given you time. Would you be able to accomplish this? They gave me like 5 days, I think it was, but I needed to spend 2 days editing a video together to make for them when I'd finished. I mean, they got me in a magazine and everything. It was really cool, actually. They got me in a magazine called 3D World, which has apparently been going for a very long time. I feel like I'm beating my chest here. I'm just so excited. I've been told to talk about this when I can. People tell me I don't look at my work enough. But yeah. Look, it's me. It's my face. And it's all written by me as well. This is a whole... It's like basically kind of a little document I wrote to explain how I made the entire scene. And I take up 2 pages, because apparently 1 wasn't enough. But yeah, speed modding and stuff is really fun. But this, I think, in 3 days, I must have put 30 to 35 hours in it. I was just going. I was like, gotta get this finished, gotta get this finished. Like, I was going crazy making this. Let's get rid of that. Let's get this done. So, don't want to stream for too much longer. That should be good enough. There should be enough detail on it that it should bake down to how I want. I don't know if 10 million is too much. How much do we usually export at? We'll save it. And we'll see what happens. Because I can decimate it, but I might have to do that off stream because it takes a while. Well, it takes like 5 to 10 minutes, but it might just freeze my computer while streaming, so it's not going to be very helpful during stream. Also, thank you so much for being so interactive today, Kelbo. Talking to you has been really nice. One thing I've said a lot in my recent old age, in my recent years, is things will take longer if you want them to be better. You can't rush. I mean, I'm popping out the YouTube. That's it. I'm popping out the YouTube channel. All right. So I assume you're still on Twitch. Things will take time. Art takes time. It's just one of those things. And as I said when I was younger, you do a good stream. Thank you very much. When I was younger, I like, especially in university. So 7 years ago, I really like the idea of doing things fast, getting things together quickly, speed modding, stuff like that. But if you really want that detail, if you really want the thing to look good, you need to invest that time. When people will sit there, now I'm still watching on Twitch, just using chat on YouTube. Oh, I thought you said the opposite. That's it. I'm popping out the YouTube chat. Oh, popping it out. Right. Yeah, at the end of the day, it just comes down to how much time you want to invest. But it's like when people are like, wow, why can't I draw this masterpiece in 10 minutes? This person drew it. They probably spent 7 hours on it. You got to remember, that just takes time. It's fine if it's taking you time. Don't ever feel bad. It's why I get really confused when someone lies about how long something took them. Like in university, I remember someone making a tank and they were like, yep, took me 6 hours. Maybe less, did he say 2 hours? I can't remember. We saw him making that take for months. Now, I don't know if he spent a long time, but I want art now. Yeah, pretty much. And he would lie and say it took him 6 hours. It easily took him 30 plus hours. Why not be proud of that? Why not be proud that you dedicated that time making it? Like, it's so strange to me. Like, I get the idea. If you say something you made was really quick, it looks like you're better than you are, right? It looks like, wow, he's amazing. It only took him 6 hours to make this. He's so good. I feel like there's much more appreciation in yourself to say how long it took. This took me 30 hours. I really dedicated myself to making it because I wanted it to look good. That's really, like, really appreciate your art. Really own up to the time it took you, because it just, I don't know. I feel like it just feels better. You should be proud of the time you spent on something. It's time you invested in something. And if you're not proud of the time you invested in something, you need to improve at the end of the day. If something you knew should have taken you an hour and it took you 10 hours, then start finding why it took you long and try to improve on why it took you those extra bits of time. What steps took you longer? What steps you could improve on? What parts you could? Because like we were saying earlier, you'll never get a project finished if you were trying to perfect everything. So you can only work on something till you get burnt out. So you need to make a time frame of, let's say you know it's going to take you 100 hours to get burnt out, how you're going to complete it in 100 hours. But don't go around telling people it took you 5 hours to make it if you spent 100 hours on it. Like, unless you just want to impress them, unless that feels good enough. I mean, do what you want, but if you want to lie because it makes you feel better about it, go for it. I'm going to do FBX. I'm going to do... I've got so many in here. We're going to do Canon, top, wooden parts, high poly. Yes. And now we got to wait. I guess I could go into here and start editing parts. Remember to share the stream with your friends and get the stream out there for people to enjoy. I just wish there was more people to watch. See, what we could do is it's got, if we look at the concept art, we've got like these, yeah, nice zoomed in image. We've got like these smudge marks here, but the problem is they don't work. It's literally like, pen. It's literally like something like this. Harder edge. Oh, we actually do want this, but we only want it to like this. So it goes up to here, something like that. Cool. And then it's got like bigger here. None of that. It's got like this part bellowed out like this, and it's got this part down here. Just looking at that, but I want art now. Something like this. Yeah, it's like that. In fact, it comes in a little bit more than I got it. It's like more like that. A little bit less of that actually. It's more like get a bigger shape, smaller shape, more like that. Got like that coming across like there. A little bit. I've got it a little bit wrong, but it's close to that. It's more like that. And I assume it's supposed to be like a sheen effect. But the problem is this is 3D. So it's hard to draw that in manually if I don't want to actually move around. So what I also need to do is I actually need to get some scratches in this. Some manual... Oh, it's like this. Like I've got some. But I wonder... So I want to get rid of these black bits. Dark bits? Oh god, where are they? They are in here. I would say label all your layers, but I don't like doing it. I can't tell you guys to do it if I don't like doing it myself. So we need to make like little... Okay. We need to make like little bits on here. I didn't manually draw them before because I couldn't bothered. No, because originally when I was getting this into Substance, I didn't think I was actually going to follow through with how it looked. But it came out really well, and I was like, oh, we'll just make it look like this. This looks pretty good. I think we want them to blend in a bit more. Yeah, definitely more like that. There needs to be a slightly purple. Yeah, like that. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. The colouring is still off. In fact, it needs to be more purple in general. Like a little bit. Ooh, okay, not that much. Up there, maybe? Yes, and then I need to manually draw some purple bits in. Like, there's a lot of color variation in this. It doesn't necessarily make sense to lighting. It just looks good. Like, we got bits. When it comes to stylize, they will add. Do you critique other artists? Like, oh, hell yeah. It sounds like I'm being mean. Yeah, I love making people feel bad about their work. Yeah. No, I critique other people's work. If you want to send me anything, I said before if there was enough people, I'd turn it into like a specific day, like a critique Wednesday or something. If people could send me stuff, but fortunately the channel's never grown big enough to allow that, so I've never followed through with that idea. I will say, I don't think I'm an amazing artist, so when I critique your work, it will be more of a technical front and stuff. I'll say what I think will look good as well. But I always say, take what I say with a grain of salt. Grain of salt? That's how you say it, right? Don't take what I say complete seriousness. Because at the end of the day, one big thing that people tend to forget about art, something like that, about art, is sometimes it's just what that person wants, right? If you specifically want that, I can't tell you otherwise. I'm like, oh, fair enough. If that's what you want, that's what you want. It's definitely more of a blue. More like there. Nice. I want to share, but I think YouTube will pick up as spam. Post it in the Discord channel in the work in progress. Well, if you want to, that's the best place. It will mark it as spam. It will mark it as a scam. Well, I say work in progress. Put it where it belongs. If it's a finished piece, there's a critique zone, but people are going to critique you in the server if you put it there. So bear that in mind. But if you just put it in finished pieces, like no one should critique you. Should critique you being the key word here. So yeah, it's got like that going on with the edges. Still doing that. I didn't mean to click on that anyway, but because like look how light these edges are. And it's like quite blue here. You've got this looks like someone's got a spray can with a bit of a bit of blue. We've got a little bit coming from down here. We've got a little bit over here. And technically we've got all of this part here. But now I need a dark variation. So if I duplicate it and just change, I got to re-black mask it. There you go. And we want like deeper blue up here. We want deeper blues here and here, with it cut off at the sides here and here. And then we want a deeper blue coming towards the back of here and here. Right, and then all I'm going to do to that is do a nice blur on it. And then we're going to put it to a probably multiply. And then we're going to get a nice deeper blue. It's more of a purple, actually. It's more probably about here, right? And we want it to be about here. Tone that down a little bit. And then we just get like a nice fade in between those colors. I think I want it to cover more of an area though, so we're going to actually put a little bit more on. Probably white's fine at the front though. Yeah, that's good. And what about here? So here I want a duplicate. Whoa! Did I duplicate it? I did. I want a duplicate. And I want to grab right here. Oh god, right here. And I want to make all this part here. If we actually manually do this, right, what we can do, I assume you've posted your work. I'll have a look at it in just a second. So sound like this, because I won't blur this one. The reason I won't blur this one, and we're going to cut it into shape instead, because when you blur it, it's going to come over these edges. Now I don't want it to come over these edges, so what I'm going to do instead is then I'm going to get a big shape here, and I'm just going to do a nice blur like that. See that? And now we get that darker coming from the bottom here. It doesn't have that, that's fine. And I basically need to do the same over here. So we'll go like this. Man, I'm craving some space mining game. Space mining game. EVE Online? Oh, right. Okay, so let me, you guys are freaking typing in chat. Ooh. Posted on the ArtStation channel on Discord. Okay, it's fair enough. Is it your whole ArtStation you want me to look at? Is it a piece of art? It's the whole ArtStation. It's the whole shebang. Sean Smith, 3D artist, 2D artist, freelance hobbyist. Anything you want me to look at in particular? I don't want to show it all off. Oh, man. Some of your 2D drawings are awesome. That guy looks sick. I mean, your stuff looks really good. If we look at 3D models, did you make this as well? Or was that a drawing? Well, obviously, if you drew it. Yeah, I mean, that looks awesome. Like, this is where my expertise runs out, because I'm just not very creative, but... Okay. Like, this is so inventive. It's so cool. The handle's a bit plain. But my problem is, I'm going to say this before looking at the rest, is there's no textures. It's like you've done half a job. And some people disagree with that. Some people agree with that. I feel like it's very, very important to actually get your UVs and texturing done, especially if you're trying to advertise yourself as a games artist. Because, well, I mean, in my company alone... oh, is this Dota 1? This is a Dota 1. Yeah. He said Dota earlier. Did you say you got the textures for Dota? Or was it inspired by a Dota mesh? Or is this unique? Yeah, like, there are lots of ZBrush artists out there. My boss actually said this when he hired me. There's a lot of, like, ZBrush artists out there. It's the people who can take their ZBrush work, even if they're worse at ZBrush, and then turn that into a game asset with UVs, with textures, with everything on it. Now, I've not looked at your other stuff, so... I mean, that's really good. Like, it's hard to criticize something that just works. Like, that's... Unless you were going in a different direction that I'm not aware of while looking at it, that looks perfect. If you wanted it to be more stylized, some of the stuff is a little too realistic. This looks like a marble effect here. Not sure if it's supposed to be marble or stone. Looks more marbly. This looks more stony. I'm not sure why. Maybe it is supposed to be marble. And that's fine. That's fine. That looks good. I'm not really a character person. This looks really good, though. Because this actually has textures as well. Is this just a drawing? Hold on a minute. Oh, this is just a drawing. Oh, that's really... I mean, it's really good drawing, too. For a design. This looks like a proper low poly character. Like it's a proper design for a game, which is really, really good. I feel like I could take this and just make it into a character right now. Well, not right now. It'd take me a while. But I could make this into a character, I think, using just this design. So this is really, really good for that. Characters provided. Oh, okay. Well, clothes are pretty good too. When it comes to concept art, as a 3D artist, I'm super appreciative. I might not be able to tell you how to improve concept art, but I will tell you if it works as reference. And this works as reference. Yes, not everything's completely accurate because you've got like, well, not accurate, sorry. Nothing is completely detailed enough to make parts you won't see, like underneath here. I don't know what that looks like. And I could use a close-up of this to give it more detailing, but give it more perspective, sorry. But I think that's fine. I think that works really well as like a piece of concept. I mean, that's textured. That's really good textured. I love that. So that's Dota as well. What is it? Oh, is that a rocket you sit on? Oh, right. Yeah, that's really good. Like, the textures look very Dota-y. Wait, I have 2 new messages. Oh, is it just not working? What's going on? Oh, hello. Weird. I'm back. Kind of dipped out because I've got dinner. Very proud of myself. Made some awesome chicken nuggets. Heck yeah. Well, you made them from scratch, right? Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good asset. The high poly looks really good, which is the top. Then it's baked down into the bottom. Yeah. I like the way that the scratches are put in. I like the paint look it's got. And I like that it's taken all the high poly stuff. I mean, the only thing you're kind of missing... Oh, yeah, is this, right? You know, I don't see a lot of this coming around it. So I feel like you could have made that into a physical mesh to really emphasize it. Unless you're really, need to be really strict to the poly count. Yeah, from scratch, I'm very proud because I'm usually a... Nice. Yeah. 2014. 6 months ago. Hold on a minute, what? Oh, and last one. And this is awesome. Is this provided, or did you make all this? This is a ZBrush thing. This is so good. Like, this looks like a proper character that I could... Yeah, it's probably too high poly because ZBrush, but it looks like I could put this in a game. This is great. Like I said, it's really hard to critique something that just works, and this just works. The only thing that looks funny is his head looks a little too far back. Looks like he's doing this. But it might just be because the clothes causing that effect. You could have done with more wrinkles on the clothes and stuff, but it depends how you want it to look. That's, I assume, how you wanted it to look, so. From scratch, the base character is head and torso. Yeah, I mean, it looks really good. It's hard to critique that. Yeah, the problem is, like, it comes down to what kind of artist you want to be. If you do want to be a ZBrush artist, basically, and you just want to, you basically just want to always make the high poly, it's fine, just doing the ZBrush sides. Now, you have got texture stuff anyway, so that's not, it doesn't apply to all your work. But it is nice to see the end stages, and it does really drive home the idea of being a games artist if you've got all the UV and texturing done as well. It's even better that when you do those things, back to my art station, let's go. When you do those things, now I don't think I've done it in a lot of my assets, so I'm a bad example of this, but I think I've done it for some. Yeah, when you do something like this, you just do a couple of angles, and then you show, here you go, here's the poly count, or at least what the poly count kind of looks like, and here's the textures. Which you did do on your, when you did texture stuff anyway, so it's really good. Because you did it on, like, your, that rocket. I'm super lazy when it comes to doing this, though. I've always been really lazy when it comes to presenting my work. I feel like a lot of my environments could look a lot better if I spent a lot more time post-processing. Not necessarily the post-processing volume in the Unreal Engine, but doing some post-processing in video editing and in Photoshop and stuff to make it look better. But I hate presenting my work. That's the biggest advice I can give that I don't do myself, is try to spend as much time as you can presenting your work as well as making it, because presentation is so important, and I'm so lazy in it. It's just not fun to me. It's like when they say in school, like, show your workings out. Why? It's done. Like, why have I got to show you how I found the square root of 279? Like, I did it, didn't I? I don't think I did it for this one. I just got some cool cinematic shots for it, which is good. If you're making a really detailed asset, get cinematic shots as well. But I don't have the UVs, but you can open up the model. Again, though, as I said, my pointers are only valid if that's the direction you want to go in. If you want to be a character artist, yeah, try to show off your UVing and your texturing work as well as your other work. But if you just want to be a certain, like I said, certain type of artist, you just want to show off your ZBrush skills and you want to be a ZBrush artist and you only want to do high polys, then it's fine. It's like when I say, oh, that clothes could use more wrinkles on it from that character. It's not necessarily true if you didn't want there to be wrinkles. This is a problem I think some people have when critiquing other people's work. Is sometimes they forget that there might be some rhyme or reason to why something looks a certain way. It's like when you looked at this model and you said, oh, try using all brushes for those scratches or whatever, but I can't or I couldn't. Because I'm trying to follow a concept and it doesn't quite match it. It's a good recommendation, but it might not necessarily work with what that person's doing. Does that make sense? And I think sometimes people forget that when they're critiquing other people's work, that there might be some reasoning behind something that looks the way it does. Now, that said, sometimes there isn't any reasoning and you do need to tell them, nah, that's garbage. Do this, but that's very rare. You're very rarely gonna have to say that to somebody. Oh, it is there. You just can't see it. Okay. That blends quite well. Same on this side. Cool. I don't want to make it a little bit weaker. Getting some of the colors in. I think the colors are too strong still, so we're going to tone some of them down. That's fine. That's fine. There. I'm going to tone that down a little bit. Headset sounds weird. Gonna tone that one down. That's fine, I'd say. I want to tone down some of those whites that I got in there. Oh, is it that? That's some of them. I want to tone that down. Definitely want them to be a lot more subtle. There you go. Those need to be way more subtle. Yeah, they're there now, but they're subtle. So these white bits are things I added earlier, but I still think they need to be more subtle after looking at them. Sometimes the end result of what you're making will come down to a lot of little subtle things layered on top of each other. It's very easy to make something and go, no, it's too subtle. Like that, there you go. It's like here, I think that's too much. Well, first of all, it needs to come over to here as well, so let me fix that. Cool. Yes, I'm actually going to do some flow change here, and then we're going to get rid of some of it. Make it a bit weaker at the top. There you go. I'm going to bed. Thanks for this stream and review. Take a break, Steve. I will take a break very soon. I just want to bake. I want to bake the other wooden parts that I've hopefully exported from ZBrush now. Is it still done? Is it still going? No, it's done. Sweet. We're going to have a quick save. Let us shown. A quick save, and then I'm going to bake them. What I need to do... Oh, it's two things I need to do, right? I need to... Yes. I don't need to do this, but it will be better. What I can do is I can just bake the high poly I made. The problem if I do that is it might bake some of the detail accidentally. Oh, whoa, what's going on there? Do you see that? Right here. I might bake some of the details accidentally on some of the other parts I don't want it to bake on. So the easiest way to tackle this is to separate out the parts I want to bake. Now, they can be combined at the end in the UV map when you're done. You might have to manually do it in... Man, the Twitch chat really does not want to work today. Oh, is it still not? Oh, what you typed to me? Mod for VR. Oh. Nice, but I have no idea how it works with old worlds. If you need help with money, you can ask me. I want to see. Oh, you were just lagging behind. Oh, what the heck? That crafting table mod is cool. Oh, you got chests. Oh, what the heck? I might play it in VR with my friend. Man, that might be really fun. Well, it will work, right? Yeah, I don't see why not. I assume your character's just going to walk the same way it would on a server. You're just another programmer. Oh, look at this. First time trying chicken nuggets. Some look burnt. But they're not. Oil just got darker. Looks tasty to me. Yeah, boy. You got some sweet corn. I assume there's some mac and cheese. Wait, are you good with lighting? Could you maybe help answer your question? Sure, go for it. Sorry, I didn't see that. I like to think I'm good with lighting anyway. It really depends. Lots of people bring in all these lighting profiles and stuff, and I feel like I don't know how to do any of that. But I know how to do a lot of the basic lighting stuff, so I like to think I'm alright. I got candle. It smells of white chocolate. Oh. I got the oil to smother the candle a little bit. Oh. The flame. Yeah, so what I would want to probably do is to separate these out into a separate material for now. And then we can combine them later. It's a little bit of extra work, but it will save on bleeding normal maps. So I think it's worth it. So assign that, select this. So when I re-import this now, Canon, yes, save. When I re-import this now, should just work. And it just means it will separate that part out into a separate material. Don't break everything. Thank you. Oh, no, it broke some stuff. Why? Why? That is weird. Why is this part wood now? Oh, because it's not selecting any of the wood anymore. It's fine. Oh, actually, it's not fine. Well, it's fine. I just need to cut this. There you go. Go into the Canon wood now. Paste it in here. And then white mask it. And we should have all the wood. Oh, wait. Hold on a minute. Oh, it's not baked. Yeah, it's fine. Now, what we want to do is we want to bake this with those normal maps attached to all 4 of these other bakes I've got going on. So if I go... let's save what I got so far. Saving project. Cool. If I go like this, and then we go... What did I call it? Cannon top, wooden parts, height... and then we go bake cannon. It will take everything we got going on. And I just want to bake it on the wood, because I don't want anything else being affected by this. So go like that. And it should... apparently not work. Why did that happen? Cannon top wooden parts HP. Is it because the import's gone into a weird place? Like it's not in the origin spot it's supposed to be in? You know what? To determine that, we'll quickly turn all this down. Go back to its core. And then go... Tools, export. Desktop, Canon. And it will go Canon top, wooden part, low poly. Low poly, ZBrush, export. We've got a lot of files I know, but yes. Let's come into here, file, This is all I wanted to get done for the end of today's stream. Hold on a minute. How long have I been streaming for? 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11. 3 hours. One of my longest streams and on a Friday. Good job, me. Cannon top, wood part, HP, Lofi, ZBrush. Oh, what is it doing up there? Why does it put it in such a weird place? Come on, ZBrush. ZBrush is really weird with exports. I don't get it. Man. How is that the ZBrush? There's got to be something I'm missing here. ZBrush export place. It's not helping me. That's really, really annoying. I mean, what I could do is I could lift that up to that other origin point and basically try to ignore. Actually, does this have different unwraps on it? Does this have all the unwraps still on it? Oh, it does. I could use that instead. Call it cannon word. Cannon word. This is really, really awkward way to do it, but what I could do, because I don't really know what's causing it, is do this, and then lift it up to that position to fit. Hold on now, I'm doing local position. And just do that. Because the reason that will work is because as long as I'm not baking anything else. Wait, hold on a minute. No, it won't. It needs everything else to... Oh. Why does it put it in such a weird place? The only thing I could think of was decimating it in ZBrush, then moving it in the right position in Blender and re-exporting it out. That seems like the best thing to do. It's just really annoying that it's imported it over here, of all places. But I guess I don't have a choice. I could align that up, but then when I could take the valley that it's been moved to. Things don't work all the time on this channel for what feels like no reason. So this isn't like the weirdest thing to happen. It's just annoying. But I could do that. Move this out the way for now. And then use this version. So the reason this version might work is because some of the areas like this would have moved. And it means the normals will bake a little bit better. Better? Who's Becca? Like this, if I also re-unwrap it. Oh, I don't have the edges selected. But still, it'll probably give me a better result. Anyways, I'm going to call that a day. And I'm actually going to do this off stream because I need to decimate and stuff now to get it into Blender. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hopefully I can fix this off stream. And so that's what we've got. And I will catch you guys on Sunday when we continue some more of our work. Bye-bye. Boop. And don't forget to join the Discord. Bye.